Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Oh, shut your mouth. What are you doing?
I got foot cramp.
Foot cramp. He's got foot cramp.
My little toe is like trying to retreat into my foot, and it's a thing.
I feel like I want to move it a little bit further over. You better not get started. I feel just like I need to be...
Yeah, we're very close today.
Yeah, but I feel I'm quite close to the... You know when like you had to pretend to be like part near the... And now I've got foot cramp. Fucking...
Foot cramp.
You know why? Because feet are wrong, Jeremy.
They are wrong. Let's just cut them off now.
Yeah.
Live feet removal.
Here
on Don't Get Me Started number, checks notes, 116.
Wow, listen, you know, do you remember when it was 100 and then we thought, oh shit, we have to start again and really start? Now I feel 16 episodes is...
It's almost 200 already.
It's basically 200.
Yeah. Where are we going to do 200?
I don't know.
We have to start thinking about that at some point, I guess.
Welcome in everybody to this, the 116th episode of the best podcast, full stop, and definitely the best on Twitch. I don't give a fuck who you are. So if you're watching this now and you also have a podcast, I feel bad for you, son.
Yeah, it's probably about crypto or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Nobody gives a fuck.
No, nobody gave a fuck when crypto was actually a thing. Now they definitely don't give a fuck. Give it up, guys.
Are we just salty because we haven't made our crypto money? Maybe. Is it possible?
I don't think anybody made their crypto money. There were some con men who made money from crypto people.
That's true.
But that wasn't crypto money. That's just straight up con money.
Maybe we should be con men. You know, people are doing that.
I hear it's popular. Yeah.
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 I would say, do you think it's true, Jeremy, that if something's too good to be true, it probably is? Generally speaking, you know? Sometimes, maybe.
I do like to think sometimes that everything is just going your way.
Yeah?
And while that isn't the case 99% of the time, there's that 1% where it's just like, everything is coming up jazz. And yeah, those are the days.
You've got an Arrow t-shirt.
I do, and it's got a food stain on it, but you can't see that on camera. So
No, you get away with that.
I thought I'd stick with it anyway. And actually, the microphone is directly in front of the food stain. So
Perfect.
Yeah, I managed to get my pasta down it when I was like rushing to eat earlier.
I see. Accurate, just like Arrow, I would presume. I've never seen it myself.
He is accurate. He can throw an apple in the air.
Yes.
Split it with an arrow before it hits the ground.
See, I should bloody well hope he could. You know, that would seem like entry level, tutorial level of the video game level of Arrow.
What I will say,
yes.
Alex, is that you promised you would watch Arrow back on DGMS episode 10.
Did I?
You did.
And
it was recently the rerun of DGMS episode 10.
Oh, yes.
Where I was reminded that you promised that you would watch Arrow.
What did I say?
You said, I'll probably watch that then.
Doesn't sound like much of a promise.
You should watch it. And it said, okay, I promise I'll watch it.
Oh, that does sound like a promise. Well, let me reveal on this 116th episode of this amazing podcast that I have not watched any Arrow.
I knew that, yeah.
In fact, the most Arrow I've watched is your food stain t-shirt version. Probably watches Alex for will not watch. I don't know. No,
that's not necessarily true. I mean, I did my homework. I've watched the things that I said I would watch.
What did you say? West Wing?
The West Wing.
Oh, yeah, good, cool.
The West Wing.
Was there anything else on that list?
I said I would watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I did watch that. I also said that I would watch Hamilton again.
Ah.
And I haven't since. I've listened to it a bunch. Does that count?
Yeah, it definitely counts.
Yeah. I listened to it again on the way to Wales this past weekend, in fact. So,
nice. You know. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah, it takes like 2.5 hours, so it's pretty much the entire journey.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Fourth Panda, for subscribing. 3 months in a row now. Very much welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope World of Warcraft's doing well. I won't mention the thing I haven't sent to you yet. Oh, well, I did, but there you go. Do you know what I was thinking about is when we do our 24-hour stream, if we're going to do giveaways, I want pre-stamped boxes ready to go. Otherwise, we're never going to send shit out because I feel like that's a thing I'm letting people down for. But it doesn't matter. Welcome in, literally everyone. I'm Alex. This is Jeremy. If you've never been here before and if you're lurking around, welcome into the rantiest podcast, broadcast Twitch show on Twitch or anywhere. You're very, very welcome here.
And Harmstone's putting his foot down on Fourth Panda being here for some reason. I think his
what does he do?
Just timed him out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How weird. Well, Tamzanaki's dropping 100 bits and
Kicking off a bit of a hype train.
fourth Panda. Press the wrong button. Sorry, Panda.
I don't think Harmstone's getting enough practice as a mod nowadays.
No.
I feel like he's slacking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't mean anything by it, Panda. He's just a prick.
He's just hopeless. Another victim, says a leader.
Does it to
Another
everyone.
Not everyone. Hey, listen. All the best people have at one time or another had to put up with Mr. Harmstone in some way.
Harmstone's erroneous finger.
His
fingers are erroneous all over the place.
Yeah.
Like they've put up signs and things about how
We had-
erroneous his fingers are.
We had to ban him. Yeah, from this very sofa because of his playful fingers.
We kept yeeting things at him. Like, get the fuck off. Get those fingers away.
You were saying just before we started today that you were feeling pretty nonchalant. Is that the case still?
Yeah, I am definitely feeling pretty nonchalant.
It's good, man.
You know, much like you, I was away for the weekend and managed to chalk up like 500 miles of driving in one day, and that takes it out of an old fat person like me.
It does.
So
You were neither of those things, but I do appreciate
today,
what you're saying.
I got to 69% hype train. Nice.
It is nice.
Nice.
And that's you.
Nice.
It's you doing that.
Yeah.
Amongst other people. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I got to like 3:00 today, and I was just like, Jez is powering down. You know, like when when your laptop just inexplicably runs out of battery. There's been no warning. It doesn't say, you should probably plug in now. It just goes shutting down. That was me at 3:00.
I thought you said chatting down. Chatting down.
So yeah, I went.
That doesn't happen.
I went for a nap, and it was a good nap right up until the moment the fucking DHL delivery driver woke me up.
Was he in your bedroom?
No.
Wake up, Mr. Walker.
I mean, I missed the delivery yesterday. I don't know how. I was in the shower. I missed the delivery yesterday because I was in the shower.
Yeah, he wasn't going to come into the shower,
No,
mate.
he wasn't. No. It's damp in there for a start. And then today, I almost missed it again because I was asleep.
I really wish he was. He had come into you.
Excuse me.
You need to sign for this. I need to take a picture of you holding it.
Okay.
The parcel, that is.
There you go. Take the photo. Okay. Now fuck off.
I really want
But
that.
yeah. So yeah, as a result, I'm just kind of feeling a bit nonchalant, lazy, lethargic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
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 Well, welcome in everybody. Normally, sometimes, often, frequently, we go through everyone in, but I don't.
Seems like a lot of effort.
It does sound like effort.
The mouse is all the way over there.
I know, isn't it just? But welcome in. I've seen there's Harmstone, there's Panda, Keris, Tamzanaki, Aletha, Fahim is here. Yeah, so many of you. If I've missed you, better start talking again.
Yeah, that's how you get our attention. You just keep talking.
Yeah.
There's no other method to get our attention. It's just talk more.
Now, I was away at the weekend as well. I was in Bedford, and I don't want to kind of talk badly too much about Bedford.
Don't you?
Oh, yeah, I do.
It sounds really fun. Go on.
It's just
I dares you.
a shithole, really. But I was in it because so many of Aletha's friends and family are Bedford adjacent, and so we went there. But it is... you made your Bedford, so you'll lie in it. Well, we literally didn't do that because we booked a hotel in Bedford and then didn't lie in it.
Oh.
The lie was we were going to use it. And by the way...
Was that because...
people put us up, basically.
Oh, right.
We went to someone's...
I was wondering if you didn't use it because somebody put you up, or because you went there and like
it was so shit.
They were kicking out a whore or something, and their sex toys fell down the stairs, and you were like, "No, we probably shouldn't stay here."
I would say
I can't relate to that.
No, whilst that was not the case, it was a horrible, smelly Premier Inn. The Premier Inn room itself was great, but like the lift stunk. I'm like, your lift stinks? What the fuck is going on? Oh, it's horrible. But we happened to get a hotel room thinking we're going to need it. And then the first guys we went to see that night said, "Oh, no, stay. We've got a spare room for you." And then the second night, the friends we went to see went, "Stay. We've got a spare room for you." And we're like, we might not have needed all the Premier Inn.
But you bet your ass that if you hadn't have booked a hotel, nobody would have made this offer. And then you'd have been like...
on the streets of Bedford.
And nobody wants to be on the streets of Bedford.
Straight out of Bedford, crazy motherfucker named AB.
I mean, I don't know very much about Bedford, but I do know that it's
Have you been to Ashford?
Middlesex rather than Kent.
I meant Kent.
Oh, I have
you
been to Ashford.
Have you been to Ashford, Middlesex?
No.
Well, I can't speak for it either, but they are very similar.
Ended that story, didn't it?
I
have been to Ashford.
It's
Kent,
much like that. It's just
directly
a town full of shoe zones and old Miss Selfridges that have
shoe zone.
gone to die, and
Was there a
Weatherspoons.
Debenhams there?
There was a Debenhams that's closed down,
Yeah.
taken over by the council, but to no good effect. I mean, that sounds like Folkestone now, but
Yeah.
it was everything you'd expect from a terrible place. By the way, we went to Bedford. There's a bread shop, a cake shop, a baker's is what I'm trying to say as I'm trying to get my words together. There's a baker's there.
Bradford.
And it says, home of the Bedford clanger. Now, do you know what the Bedford clanger is? Have you heard of this?
I have heard of the Bedford clanger.
It is famous.
And it's from Bedford.
Correct.
And it makes a noise?
Yes. Let's name and shame Gunn's Bakery. That's where it was. So
was it owned by famous gun Billy, or perhaps his brother?
It was badass
brother
Billy
Bart of the Smoking Guns.
It was,
or perhaps it's moved down a generation, and the AEW Tag Team Champions, the Guns.
Oh,
Billy Gunn's sons, perhaps now own it.
Billy Gunn's sons.
Yeah,
man, they'll do anything. These third generation superstars. It's badass Billy Gunn.
Down, no.
Oh, you didn't know?
Down, no.
They didn't sell the thing that we wanted.
Oh.
They are famous for selling the Bedford clanger,
and
which
Billy Gunn is famous for not selling, actually. So that fits.
By the way, if you like fucking wrestling content, that's fucking gold. You should be fucking laughing. That's a good joke. Where's your old father? He'd have loved that shit. The rest of you, pearls before fucking swine, you pricks.
The WWE Network's a thing. Go and watch the WWE Attitude Era from 1999 through to 2002, and then come back and appreciate my fucking joke.
Listen, I just feel maybe we don't need to be broadcasting this. We'd just be talking to each other and telling each other how great we are.
That is pretty much how this started, isn't it? We were just sat in my living room chatting shit. I'm like, man, why aren't we recording this
this shit.
putting this out
gold.
to the world? And that's how this show started, basically.
So the Bedford clanger is like, as I understand it, it's like a pasty. It's a big pie.
Ah, yes.
And half of it is meat, and half of it is pudding, as it were. And I was explaining this because I met up with Darren, Any Button Gaming. We met up with ABG for a lovely Italian lunch, and we had some beers, and we had some wines, and we had a good old time.
And you had a dessert pasty?
No. We were walking past, and I said, home of the Bedford clanger. He said, yes, the clanger is a 2-meal pasty. Right?
2-meal pasty. Man,
yeah. Oh, it's like a sausage roll.
Department are on point with this, aren't they?
It's
a 2-meal pasty.
It's long. I never saw one, as will become obvious, but it was explained to me as a big pasty sausage roll thing, and half of it is meat, and half of it is like, I don't know,
not meat,
apple, right? And the idea, said Darren, was that int there going up kiln to work down hot mill. And many, it doesn't matter where they work.
Carry on, yeah.
They needed something that covered both like an apple pie and a pasty. So in their infinite wisdom, the bakers went, hang on a minute, we can put both these things together. And they made something which half of it was meat and half of it was pudding. And then when it was your lunch, you chomped on one end and you had the meat, the savoury, and then after that, you had your pudding and you ate the other half. That's how it works.
So, Bedford, had you considered perhaps cooking two things? Just cook a pasty, sausage roll, whatever.
Yeah. And then separately,
completely separately, cook a pie.
Yeah, well, they didn't think that, Jeremy. And I never got to the bottom of it, but effectively they went, listen, these guys are going to be hard at work in the kiln.
They haven't got time for
two
things.
2 pies into the kiln.
I mean, if you're putting it down between courses,
not me.
It doesn't matter whether you.
I like to eat and then turn it around and eat the other bit.
I mean, I can see the benefit of like a pork pie attached to like an apple pie, because you like to have apple with pork, don't you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You could just that would be all right. And I quite like to mix sweet and savoury, so maybe I'm being harsh, but it just sounds like somebody woke up one day and decided to solve a problem that didn't exist.
Yeah, and in a way, I do get that, but also I like the kind of novelty aspect of it. And I don't, I don't know what your opinion.
Why is it called a clanger then?
I
Is
don't.
it because they overcook it to the point that when you're down mine, you throw it in a coal hopper and it goes clang?
Maybe. We never found out why it was called the clanger, and you now, all of you and you, but you have the same level of information that I have about this. Whether you disagree with what's being served to you, and they had various different versions of it. I don't think it was particularly well explained on their board of stuff. I'm like, okay, lamb and plum or whatever, whatever. But
there's different varieties.
Different varieties of clanger.
Lamb and plum really doesn't sound like it.
I think it was lamb and plum. I was looking for some. I just wanted one which was just like really obviously the classic. But
I mean, plums are quite expensive nowadays, so like that doesn't seem very working class. Lamb and plum is quite expensive.
It's anyway. We went in there on the last day we were there because we felt we needed to partake of the only thing it was famous for, apart from John Bunyan, who wrote Pilgrim's Progress, has been mentioned already in the chat, but like that is what they're famous for in Bedford. That and Paula Radcliffe. And it being a market town, but there was just a market just like anywhere else, so I don't know quite.
Which one's Paula Radcliffe? Is she the one that pisses when she runs?
Yes.
Yeah. Classy lady.
Make me a pasty with an Irish coffee in the last bit for that real restaurant experience. That's what there should have been a coffee in there as well, so you can have a little drink at the end, or like a beer shoved in the middle of it. Like have a little bit of a beer, just you drink
beer
it.
and a shot in like two little slots on the top.
Yeah. The idea, I think, is that they didn't want to have lots of things. They'd gone down. They just like grabbed one lunch to rule them all. What I will say is
bags, guys, in a bag, box.
What about
you
a
can
starter?
put more than one thing in the box. Just.
I would say, what about a starter? There should have been some. Listen, maybe we should invent the clanger, which there should be 3 parts, shouldn't
We'll
it?
do the Folkestone clanger.
The Folkestone clanger.
For the starter part, it's beans.
Yes.
And then for the main course bit,
yes,
it's beans.
That's nice.
And then for the dessert,
yes,
it's beans.
that sounds incredible.
And then for supper,
yes,
it's beans.
Oh my god!
So basically, what you've got,
mate, you've nailed it.
Is the perfect combination of 4 meals of the day.
Ah,
The Folkestone Clanger, sponsored by Don't Get Me Started.
Fucking patent pending.
All proceeds go to our pockets.
Anyway, we all love an anticlimax. I went in there on the Monday and they didn't have any. So fuck me.
So they did many varieties and they didn't have any of them.
We went in. I said, we've heard so much about the Bedfordshire Clanger. Please, fair yeoman of the bakery, serve us one up. And they went, we don't have any.
I mean, to be fair, it was pretty impressive. You managed to find a bakery in 2023. So
I know.
Is that telling of the times in Bedford? Is it still 1992 there?
I feel it is.
Yeah.
I feel it is. It is still time for me to receive my my GCSE results. But yeah, it was really quite depressing. We went in there and they were like, no, we don't have any. And I'm like, okay.
I'll have 2 tickets to Terence and Philip, please. No.
The Folkestone Farter. That's what they call it. You get that. It's the Folkestone Farter. Welcome in, Ben, of Absolute Bedlam podcast. Something I should mention at this point is that I don't know if we put it out. We should do, though. Whether we need to put it in the Don't Get Me
out.
Oh, okay. Yes, you did put it out.
Put it out on the social
DGMS,
media,
yes.
on Facebook and Twitter.
So we were very kindly invited to be part of the Absolute Bedlam podcast, as we said a few weeks ago, and the audio version went out, and now the YouTube version is out. I haven't actually looked at it yet, because what I haven't explained to Ben, but I can explain now, is that I was away the whole weekend, and I wasn't really in a position to talk to you and help you. But I wasn't ignoring you. Well, I was, but not like maliciously. But anyway, that's out there.
There's the tweet, proof that I did a thing. There you go.
You can go and watch us be funny on this sofa, but with Ben.
Yeah. And we're hoping to reverse that fortune at some point as well. And Ben will come here and be funny on this sofa.
On this sofa, probably here.
Us.
Probably here. We'll get rid of this table thing. Get out of the way.
Yeah, we might have to drop the chat that day. We haven't really had a guest on in a while. I can't remember what we did.
But Ben runs the Absolute Bedlam podcast.
Has many, many good guests.
So you should...
Not quite as good as us, but, you got to peak at some point, haven't you?
And we are pretty outrageous. I'd love to come on the sofa soon. Wait, what? Yeah, right here. Right now. Well, not now, but,
Right here?
Yes.
There. That's where you'll be.
You can't be here. I'm here.
Yeah, I know. You'll still be there. Don't
That'd
worry.
be weird. And there you go. Yeah, you can check his podcast out there. Aletha stuck that thing in. Everyone's sticking links in. Thank you very much.
Also available on not Apple Podcasts, decent podcast providers. Shall we use that as a segue? Not that it's really a segue into our first segment.
Yes, let's.
Okay, on we go. Let's talk about what's happened in This Is Happening.
Yes.
In a world filled with haps and naps, two men have risen above to bring you This Is Happening.
I mean, so much is happening, Jeremy. But those people who have never come in before, we generally have a little rundown of things that are happening, and then if they're funny, we'll take the piss out of them, and if not, we'll gloss over them really fucking quickly. And you can put in your haps and naps by using the channel points in the channel, as some of you already have, and then we'll read the shit out of them, and we talk about our own haps and naps as well.
We do, yeah. And jumping straight in, Karis is sharing a hap with me this week, which because we live in the same house.
Yes.
Because we're married, and that's how marriage works. Well, mostly. Depends who you ask. Hap got a new front door.
And as Tamsin says, shut the front door.
We can now, and it doesn't shake the entire house. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has that also solved the problem with the little bit at the bottom which you trip
that you always kick
Yes.
relentlessly? Yes,
Yes.
it's fixed that now.
Yes.
And I requested a lower threshold.
Ah.
So now there is no little step for you to just bloodily stumble into every time you come over. Yeah. So,
Sorry,
but all of my
I don't mean to.
Well, you can't now.
Oh,
I fixed it just for you. But all of my haps and naps are they're double edged this week because with my hap is a corresponding nap.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got a new front door, and it's great. It's red.
Red. I love red.
Lovely red front door. It's beautiful. It shuts nicely.
That's what you want.
It doesn't fuck around really. It's a door.
Does that mean the door frame changed as well?
Yes, the door, basically the entire entranceway was completely ripped out and replaced. So new door frame and the new little window thing above the door and all of that.
Have you got a little stained glass thing which says your number in a kind of fancy way?
We considered that, but yeah,
you
didn't want that. We just got frosted glass, and the frosted glass brings me to my nap. We can keep talking about my door afterwards if you have a question.
I do. I have one question. It's not even very interesting, but I do. Carry on.
My nap is that in the glass panel within the door,
yes,
the fucking Burke that was cutting the glass wrote in one of those chalky pens.
Yes.
On the glass, how many he needed. So X2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except he's done it inside. So inside my glass window, it has X2 written in white pen.
Inside
the glass. It's double glazed.
Oh, I see.
So it's poof, poof. And then on the inside of this first piece of glass, it's got X2.
So now you've permanently got X2 within your window.
Yeah, slightly smudged.
And you can't do anything about it unless you take out one of those panes and then scrub it out.
Yeah. No. Safe start fucking doing that.
How obvious is it? Will I notice it when I arrive? Probably wouldn't have noticed.
Depends on the light.
Uh-huh. Typical of builders. What a fucking twat, says James 31.
Classic,
James 31 is our resident curmudgeon when it comes to builders. I think we should all specialise, and really he's the best person for that.
Better not be permanent, says Karis, who got very stressed about its installation. I was away, obviously. I was in Wales, and Karis was in charge of making sure that our door didn't have writing. It
strikes me that it's Karis's fault then.
She had one job.
She fucked it up.
It was to check that there wasn't writing inside the glass. Who doesn't check whether there's writing inside the glass?
He left you with one instruction, Karis. No writing within the glass.
Yeah.
I blame Karis too.
Yeah. Check the locks? Nah, that's standard shit, mate. You've got to check the glass and make sure nobody's written inside it. Through the Houdini measure of writing inside when you can't get to it. So yeah, it's a great
Karis the glass hole.
It's a great door, but like with everything, in my life at the moment, good things happen.
Yes.
Shit things happen in equal measure. The the whatever deity you worship
Yes.
giveth, and the whatever deity you worship taketh away.
One door finally closes, another window gets written on.
That was quite a hard sentence to say. Yeah.
So that was that. But good news. What I was going to ask is, does that mean they've taken away the bell that you don't want to be rung on anyway?
Yes.
And did they say, oh, we'll replace that bell? And you went, please don't.
They said, do you want like a bell installed? And we were like, no, not really, because that costs way more, and
they'll ring it.
And yeah, look, we've got a door knocker now. There's a
Oh,
knocker on the
nice.
front door.
Have you knocked on it a little bit?
I haven't actually used it. I assume it works. It's a knocker,
But some knockers are a little bit tung 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 tung, and some are rat-a-tat-tat, and I like a good rat-a-tat-tat.
I haven't heard it either, and my door has been knocked on twice to my knowledge, so maybe it is a bit of a shit. Also, did you say inside the glass? Hello, Hannah. Yes, inside the glass.
Inside the glass.
I got a stick-on wireless doorbell. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one of the wireless.
Then it can go like down, down, down.
The wireless rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
And then
do birds
you
suddenly appear
is
every
that,
time you are near?
Is that from something?
That's
Is that
from The Simpsons?
Oh, is it?
In the Tracker episode, Homer goes away. Marge buys a new doorbell, but it doesn't work, and it just keeps relentlessly doing the "Why do birds suddenly appear?"
Close to me.
Close
to you.
Yeah.
Ring wants to charge you a monthly subscription.
Ring can fuck off.
Really? I mean, I don't have a Ring.
Maybe I won't
doorbell.
do Ring then.
I'm perfectly fine with my doorbell not working at all. No pay, no ring. That's what they say.
That's a great line.
Ring are not the best. This just in.
Just get a peephole. I mean, I've got a knocker, and people can just knock on my window like they do, because it's actually closer to the road than the door is.
And by ring, I mean butthole.
Monthly subscriptions for basic objects should go in the sea. Well, hold that thought. Submit it as a thing for the sea in the channel points before other people do, because you can only submit 3 per episode.
Oh, I was going to say 2, but 3. Yeah, so get in there. You can
it might be 2. I can't remember.
Get in the sea might be. Get in the sea is a channel point redemption. So do it. Get it in there.
Get them in there. Yeah. So that is my first hap nap.
Hap nap. Well, shall we proceed through some of?
Do you really think they're going to be worth reading?
No, but I mean, this is our problem. If anything, this is our mistake.
Right. Hang on. That was last week. Hap, says Tamsin, spent the day with one of my best friends.
Oh, that's lovely. Who was it? I mean, I don't know.
Tamsin's in Greece, so probably
are you in
Greek
Greece?
friend.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I must have missed that.
Just to do a scroll, because I do occasionally scroll. Oh, it can only go up so far. Fuck it. She's in a place where she said greetings from, and it sounded Greek.
Okay.
There you
Well,
go.
I hope you're having fun over there.
Yeah.
How far ahead are you? I used to know this sort of thing.
I believe. I think it was an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's proceed.
Conversely, by being away, nap, missing Alexa.
Having to turn my own lights on and off.
Yeah. Sorry, Tasmanaki. That's a big problem.
Oh, by the way, Tasmanaki, changing Tamsinaki to Tasmanaki has been one of my daily amusements.
It has been funny.
On my watch.
I'd love to take credit for it. I really would, but it wasn't me.
It's so funny.
I assume it was Harmstone.
It's Harmstone.
It has to be Harmstone.
It's so funny. I
do love to change people's names, and
Yes.
I've got form for changing people's names. But you know that if I do it, I will take credit for it. And
it was me, Austin. Yeah, I love. It comes up on my watch and it'll say funny stuff like, oh, what's going on, and people saying hello in the mornings and stuff like that. But I saw it come up and it said Tasmanaki, and I just laughed. I was just sitting, just laughing at my watch. It's just like every time I see it, it's just that combination of letters just makes me giggle, along with the fact that we know the backstory.
If you've no idea what we're talking about, make sure you go back and watch last week's DGMS.
About names, people not getting people's names right. Fucking fuckers. I don't know what. Anyway. Jeopardy UK apps.
Applications.
Oh.
Applications are now open if you would like to be a contestant on the UK version of Jeopardy.
Now, I have to say, Jeremy, I think my quiz knowledge is pretty good, but I don't think I could necessarily do it, but it might be worth just.
We're in the UK. The bar is a lot lower than it is in the States.
Okay, I could be one of those guys that's there for ages. You know,
if that's how they do it, because that's not how they did it last time. It was the British
well,
one.
I presume that Harmstone has applied because he really likes quiz shows.
He has, and I'll reply. Like he posted it in the Discord yesterday, and I was having a shit day, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't passing any fucking aptitude test right now in the mood that I'm in. So I'll do it another time when my brain.
Oh,
is
do you have to
actually
do
working.
a?
Yeah, so there's like just a little like multiple choice quiz type thing to make sure that you're not a complete fucking dum dum.
I see. Fair enough. Aletha, slurping jellies.
Yeah, what's that about?
Do you want a slurping jelly? I'll get you one right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Ask and you shall receive. Apparently, I've only got one stain on my t-shirt. I can get another one if slurping jellies sound as messy. He's promised me a slurping jelly, and now he's not going to be able to provide a slurping jelly.
I thought I found the other one, but there you go. But here it is.
Yeah.
Here's a slurping jelly.
I left a round one for you, she says.
Oh, this one. Oh, did you take this packet away? Because that's the one I was looking for. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
So it's a jelly, and you slurp it out of there. Talk about. Oh, I better get back to my mic. It's a jelly, and you slurp it out of there. Talk about your all-time mukbang.
I'm concerned that it says it's got a little Japanese characters on it. It says Ika on the top, and it's got a picture of a squid, which is Ika.
Yes, it doesn't taste like squid. We had this conversation.
Okay, great.
It's just a happy friend that's the kind of mascot or the kind of character that's on all of the ones.
Because when I want to eat jelly, the first thing I think of is the warm, appetizing taste of squid.
Yeah. That was another one of those Guns Bakery ideas that didn't make the shop floor.
I mean, I do like squid. I like a bit of takoyaki. That's quite nice. But okay, so
you basically peel the lid off.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of a lid thing I've got to tell you. And then you just have to get that into your mouth. But as a result, you have to slurp it in, and there's no two ways about it.
And is it a very wet thing? Do I need to be concerned about missing and it going straight down my front? Or...
Well, I mean, why break the habit of a lifetime, Jeremy? But
I can't really eat properly.
I tell you just go for it and see how it works out for you.
Right, here we go.
It should be okay though. It's very exciting. We can just keep giving you stuff. So there you go.
Okay, that is jelly, right?
Yeah, it is jelly.
I did wonder if I'd pulled off half the film. I'm good at that as well.
No,
right.
You're okay. It's pretty good.
Okay.
You can. Your face. It's quite joyful. You look like a child, like a happy schoolboy.
I almost slurped it too well was the problem, and I just almost like swallowed it whole.
That is kind of how it works.
Hey, that tastes good.
I know. And then you just keep eating them.
Yeah, I can see how that happens. It was wet though. I'm sticky now.
So that's what she's talking about. Slurping jellies.
Can confirm. I now have empirical evidence. Hap.
It is hap.
Absolutely hap. Yeah.
Yes, let's move forward. Harmstead, got the confirmation I'm doing the new home demo meeting soon.
Isn't that someone else's job? Why are you doing the estate agent's job now?
Home demo.
Right.
Well, like demonstrating the home.
You've already got the home.
You've got the house.
This is the door. Here you will see the X2 left by
the builder,
the person who put the door together. Fucking balance.
It's not a classic.
If you walk through the door, you will find the entranceway. It's where you come in.
Is this the kind of demo?
To the left, that's the right, but never mind. To this direction, nobody ever accused me of knowing which direction things are. You'll find the living room. It's the room that you do the living in. Next door, you have the study. Don't know what you do
You
there.
seem to know quite a lot about the various rooms in
across the hall.
Harmstone's house.
Across the hall, you have the drawing room. Which is where you
yes.
pick up the arrows, you put them in, and then you pull them back. It's known as drawing.
I wondered if you'd say that. Really working on that arrow theme. Does he do much drawing of arrows in the TV show that I've never watched?
He does very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And then he leaves them in people, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a bit about Arrow where it's like, listen, I'm not going to kill anymore or something like that?
Yes.
And then he just did.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe I'll watch it.
It was a Hocondry, yeah. This is the verbatim the conversation we had on episode 10.
I suspected that it was. It's to teach me the oven and shit. If the oven isn't self-explanatory, I presume that says take it back. Painted kitchen walls today, says James31, which is Hap. Nap, painting kitchen walls tomorrow.
I see. Getting involved there with the double-edged haps and naps.
Yeah. Why is it I feel that
James is always fucking painting something.
Painting
Mate,
and building.
Take a break.
Have a day off,
Play
mate.
some
Tell us,
COD.
say you went out and just like punched a chav in the face or just stole some flowers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or played some bingo.
It's daffodil season. Go and pick a daffodil.
I don't want to hear about your fucking house anymore,
Yeah,
James.
don't paint it.
Drives me up the wall.
Yeah. Right.
The painted wall. Anyway, here's the one that I saw earlier. I think is amazing. Is because I'm skipping past the bits you already said. Fourth Panda got her master's degree, which is incredible.
That is
so
amazing.
slip in that fucking shit. He's painting his walls, and you've got a door. Fucking Panda's got a master's.
Hey, don't fucking understate my door. It's got writing in between the glass.
And that is pretty amazing.
But yes, it is incredible. Well done.
Such congratulations. I think that's amazing. Well done. Well done.
That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
It's an extra year's work than I could be asked to do.
What is the master's in? Do you want to tell us that? And are you going to move on to get a
Do
doctorate?
even more work.
And will you be Dr. Panda in the end? That's what I want to know. But congratulations. Good work.
Hopefully, you got more than a fourth panda.
There you go. Yes. Celebrate together all our wins. I love it. So congratulations. Rounds of applause for Panda.
I just noticed this. Shut up, Alex. Not everyone has slaves to paint for them. Bellend.
Shut up. Yes, that seems fair enough. Yes, well said.
Yeah.
Bellend.
So say all of us.
A little comma, bellend. Yes.
Comma bellend is always good.
Fair.
Nap says, Hannah, when your boss asks you to do something fiddly, short notice, and then you spend 2 whole days making it happen at great inconvenience to yourself and other people, you have to ask for help. Needs comma. And then someone turns around and says, oh yeah, no, we don't need that.
At work, people email me things and go like, oh, you got to do this. And I think I have a rule now where I just don't do anything I'm asked for a couple of days, because generally what happens is they go talk about it and go, oh, no, that can't happen. Well, can it happen? It should happen. And then the next day he goes, have we done that thing? No, that possibly can't happen. Alex, take it out. And I'll go, okay. And I found that if I don't do it, then 9 times out of 10, I wasn't required to anyway. So.
See, I stop short at even your level of effort. Like, when somebody emails me asking me to do something, I don't do it. Full stop.
Full stop.
Problem solved. Then it'll never come back to bite me.
And no doctor's degree, says Fourth Panda. I am done for now. I put a little break in there.
I studied renewable energy technologies, and I'm currently working in building technology. Another fucking builder.
Well, God knows we need them, or rather, James needs them. Problem is, I have someone on the hook for something first thing tomorrow, but no one will tell me if I need to cancel them or not.
Cancel them!
Yeah.
Have the time for yourself.
Yes.
Always be cancelling.
I agree. Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the people do it on the Twitter.
Yeah.
So why can't you?
People get cancelled all the time. One of these days we will.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't been cancelled already.
No.
Frankly. And then we've got some suggestions for later. And then the final hap.
At least he's consistent.
Dr. Fruitbat got colour swatches from B&Q. Flat purchase still rolling on. I want to move.
I want to
move.
Yes.
I want to move. I want to move.
Yeah, no, I feel your pain. I was in much the same way before I made the purchase for Borton Towers.
He had to live in my house for a bit. That's how long that took.
I did. It was very enjoyable.
Mostly because I wasn't there.
Yes, and Kay was there.
I wasn't in my own house at the time of him living there.
You weren't. That's true. That's how I could live there. Kind of. I have a hap nap.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
We're all about the double-edged hap naps today.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to, but I thought I might word it in this way. The nap, and you will see where this is going, so hold your hold yourself for a moment, as will you all, that Nap, unfortunately this year, although we've done it in previous years, I will not be able to join you for a Eurovision party at your house this year. On account of the fact that we have Eurovision final tickets in Liverpool.
Booyah!
Yes! Fucking look impressed.
I did not know they were coming out until 12:34 today, when I was informed by Twitter that they were sold out.
They were sold out. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't going to go to Manchester for it.
No.
Why are they doing that shit? Do it in London, you pricks.
So,
that's why you do shit in this country.
So, yeah, at 12 o'clock, I was on my phone and on my computer, and very, very quickly, I don't know how, I was into the ticket section, basically. Nice. It was fucking crazy. But so, yes, we've got tickets. They were quite expensive, and I don't really want to say how expensive they were.
Are we talking Sage Bambino or
they were
laptop?
Not laptop.
Okay.
They were like double. They were a ticket was the original price of a Sage Bambino. I could buy 2 Sage Bambinos at full retail price.
I wouldn't have been going anyway, even if I'd have got to the front of the queue then.
I know, even in myself, I'm like, well, Duncan is not going. No, Duncan said it was too rich for his blood. And to be true, it's probably too rich for mine too. But I figured it probably was a once in a lifetime thing because Alex is fucking loaded. I'm not. 80 to 380 was the price range. And let me say, I was at the very top of that range. Because what happened, I mean, here's the thing. It is fucking amazing, Keris. You just have to kind of do it, right? Because, like, we didn't win. But yet, because of this unfortunate situation with Ukraine, we've been allowed to host it. We did win. We did win. By the way, I was talking to somebody the other day who said that they thought that the Ukraine entry was good, and I'm like, I don't agree.
You are wrong. Objectively,
it
was fucking terrible.
But suffice to say, Eurovision tickets for everyone. Yeah, Alex is loaded. Not anymore, he's not. No, the thing was, we agreed to ourselves a couple of things. One, we didn't want to go to any of the other like semi-finals and stuff, because really you just want to go for the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even watch the semi-finals after watching last year's semi-finals.
I just want to go for the main thing, for the live final, and the money is, and I said at one point, it's going to be like 200 quid like it was for like the ones that were out in Amsterdam, and Aletha was like, it isn't 200 quid, and then she told me, and I'm like, ooh. And then so then what happened basically is that I went on my phone, and I clicked on the right thing to go, and my phone wasn't giving me a waiting room thing, and I'm like, oh, the phone doesn't know what it's fucking doing. It's all about the laptop. And then the laptop, when the queue started at 12, the laptop just went white and like just nothing on the screen and just wasn't working at all. I'm like, well, let's hope that Aletha gets somewhere on it. And then suddenly my phone just immediately blinked off the screen and went to the what tickets would you like within like 20 seconds, like straight away. And I'm like, what?
Oh. Very nice.
And then I was like, I'll have best available, thanks. And it went, no, none. And it took me to beginning. I went, I'll have best available, thanks. And it went, no, none. And this was in the first like 30 seconds.
I had that experience last week trying to buy tickets for Money in the Bank.
Oh, right,
and, I kept saying, best available, please. And it went, none. And after 20 minutes, I thought, I'm probably not getting any tickets.
Yeah. So after 15 minutes of doing that and doing various things, I'm like, no, why am I at the front? It seems to me, I haven't even experienced a queue. This can't be right. This must be broken. It's taken me to the end, but it isn't doing anything.
Maybe you shouldn't be admitting this on a live stream. You beat the system.
Yeah, maybe. But then suddenly I was sitting there and it just went, do you want floor tickets? It just went, hi, do you want 2 floor tickets for the top price? And I went, because that's normally when Ticketmaster kicks you out and sends you back to the beginning and does some stupid shenanigans.
Well,
right?
That's it. What I imagine is that somebody had been offered those 2 floor tickets, looked at the price and gone, fuck that, and sent them back into the pool, and then you immediately got them. But rather than saying, fuck that, you were like, I just went money.
Yes, and it went, do you want a program? I'm like, no, just carry. I was being really careful not to say things no to the wrong things, and it said, yes, okay, buy. And it said, okay, you need to click on these things. I'm yes, just please secure them. I just want you to send me a thing saying you're going, you know. And then it said, now go onto your banking app and tell me you want to tell HSBC that you want to,
I hate that shit.
So I'm like, had to
much.
go onto that and stuff like that. And eventually it came through and it says you've got them. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. So there you go. Yes, we have been very, very successful. I'm incredibly happy. It hasn't yet sunk in properly. And because it's the floor, also, Aletha wasn't a big fan of like going, she was not, in the words of Hot Shit, ready for the floor. She was ready for a seat. But we didn't get that offered to us. I didn't want to kind of come out and...
Oh, so you've paid for the privilege of standing up for 6 hours?
Yes.
Ah, you fucking sucker.
I know, but I'll be right there.
Yeah,
but the
you'll
other
be
thing
stood
is
up.
that if... hey, listen, I'm a big fan of sitting down as well, but I could not be certain that if I'd have gone, no, let's have some different ones, they'd have been like, well...
Sold out.
Yeah, right? So I took what I got.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they said they were sold out by 12:24, I'm like, that's 24 minutes. That's like 23 minutes longer than it took to sell out Money in the Bank. So I'm not surprised you were able to get tickets.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter about it at all, obviously.
So if I'm paying anything, I want a seat. Yeah.
Seats are the way.
I mean, it is the way. This is the way. But unfortunately, in another way, though, there's a chance you'll see my Union Jacked face much closer up because I'll be like a crazy flag waving idiot right at the front now, basically. So that's... I'm too old for the standing section. Me too. But I don't give a fuck because...
I was always too old for the standing section. Like when I went to see Linkin Park when I was 14, I was too old for the standing section then, to be fair.
Can you just go up a little bit? I just want to see while I was explaining that, if anybody had... I think there'll be no taxis. I probably won't be. We've managed to get a hotel, actually. Because it's actually in Liverpool, we could go and probably stay at Martin's because he's in Manchester, and it probably won't be too difficult to get across. But we have actually got a place to stay. So,
oh, that's true. Karis isn't going to be out for Eurovision as well, so I'll be sat there on my own watching Eurovision. Nice.
And you'll see me going,
happily.
yeah.
might stream it. You never know.
It is not like I say. I mean, I know if we'd have got sitting down, we'd have been in the top nosebleedy section. See, here's the thing. I would have much preferred when we went to Munich, we were much closer, but you kind of have to take what you get at that stage. So,
yeah, I'm not looking forward to when they finally announce the
Frankfurt.
NFL tickets and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, can I afford to go to Frankfurt? Well, absolutely not. But am I maybe going to do it anyway?
yes.
Probably.
Hey, Mike. We're good. We're just talking about Eurovision.
I was good. Now I've got a foot cramp.
Eurovision tickets.
Again. Yeah.
So do I paint my face like the Union Jack, or is that a cunt's move?
That is a cunt move, yeah.
You are going, and you will be part of his... Yes, we will be, because here's the thing, and I did think about this, and I was saying it earlier to someone. I was like saying, I think it was Duncan, I was like, listen, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and like, last time we hosted it in this country was 25 years ago, the year after we won it with Love Shine a Light, Katrina on the Waves, and we don't know that we're going to win this for another 25 years. We got to take these opportunities now. So yeah,
Katrina and the Waves love them some fucking Eurovision, don't they?
Yeah.
Absolute
arsehole move. Do it in fluorescent paint or LEDs. I need to wear something. Like I got to wear something.
I mean,
we got to work on what I'm going to wear.
The ultimate Chad move when you go to these things is to take an actual Union Jack, giant one, and hold it up like that behind you, because then the fuckers in like 3 rows behind you can't see shit.
Yeah, listen, they didn't pay 380 quid, so they can go fuck themselves.
Well, they probably did if they stood behind you.
Oh yeah, maybe that's
on
true.
the same floor.
Oh, I mean
not sitting down.
I thought we were talking.
Like
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
but I want to. I just honestly, I really hope.
Make a flashing, always be chatting headdress. Yeah, that's what you do.
Wear something that stands out. I would
Giant
love
hat with a neon sign that just says #DGMS Live on it. That's what you want.
Someone will say, "Hey." There'll be like Vox popping outside, and they'll be like, "Hey, who was your favorite Eurovision singer over the years?" And I'm about to say DGMS Live, and then just relentlessly say DGMS Live, DGMS Live, ABC for GB. Well, listen, we have to work on whatever outfit that I want to wear.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure we can workshop.
It'll probably just be this based on
like
my fucking.
Like,
but look at how much real estate there is on my head for like
true.
Painting things.
Yeah. Right, I've got one more double-edged hat nap, and then we can move the fuck on.
A suit covered in springs for the Union Jack at the end of each one. You see, there's not much time. We gotta work on it. Anyway, sorry. Yes, what were you gonna say?
So I made a purchase,
Ooh.
and it wasn't an expensive purchase, and I shared it in the Discord. Hap, I bought a wearable hot water bottle
Wow.
because it's fucking cold, Alex, and I'm sick of it.
You're not a fan of the
I
cold.
fucking hate the cold, and it's being more cold for longer than it ever has been, as far as I'm concerned. Citation needed, but I'm not happy about it. So I bought a wearable hot water bottle for when I go to pick up my child,
Yes.
and even though the school closes a certain time, they haven't opened the gates to actually let me to my child at the appropriate time. So I end up standing in the cold for like 15 minutes.
Oh man.
And I don't like doing that.
No.
Because I get cold. But now I've got a wearable hot water bottle.
So a hot water bottle in my head is like about this big. Is it just on a rope around your neck, or how's this thing work?
It basically like slots into this, like, it looks like a WWE championship belt.
Oh,
You
nice.
slot it in there and it's that kind of thing. But that brings me to my nap. I'm too fat, it doesn't fit.
Shit.
And I as much as I like to self-deprecate, I don't feel it would fit many a man, really.
Right.
I don't think it's really built for men, which is discriminatory.
Yes.
Hot water bottles are not just for women on their periods, I'll
Yes.
have you know.
Yes.
Like, they're for cold-ass tall people waiting for their kids and stuff.
Have you tried wearing electric heated jackets? Says
No,
Mike.
electric's expensive. Water is free, right?
Plus, you have to understand, Mike. You'd have to have like a cord that runs all the way back to your house if
That's
you were going to
true.
do that. Plug
And
it in your house and
I
then
don't
go.
live next to the school, so
Think about you'd have to have one of those long kind of like extension leads all the way down.
imagine reeling that back in when I got home. That would be a real pain.
No, that's
in the ass.
no. I don't think he should do that.
Probably get stuck on a lamppost, all kinds of crazy shit.
Not good.
Yeah. So I've tasked wife on extending it so that I can wear it.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I can wear it. I just have to breathe in a lot and not wear it around my waist and wear it like there instead. But yeah.
You charge them up first, lol. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You live and learn.
I bet you can make a belt extension.
Yeah.
The 24/7 belt. I think. What if someone fights you for the belt at some point? You imagine you're standing outside. Is it 24/7?
If somebody tries to take it from me, I will fucking fight them. Let me tell you. It's
I think what I want.
my warmth. not
I
yours.
want to come along in a referee's uniform just outside when it's time for you to pick up Hannah, and then just basically someone will come along and have a fight, and I'll be ready to see if the belt changes hands or not.
I mean, you can't see it. I wear it like on my t-shirt, and then I wear a hoodie and a coat, so you can't see that I'm wearing it. I just look even fatter because it sticks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one right now, says Dr. Fruitbat. What a
Championship belt?
championship hot water belt. Maybe BCW should have one of those hot water bottle champion.
They are cool though. So the hot water bottle like slots in the back.
Yes.
And then at the front there's like a faux rabbit fur like pouch that I can stick my hands in. So it will keep my hands warm as well.
That sounds nice.
A bit like like quarterbacks wear those hand warmers, but this one's got a hot water bottle behind it, so you know it's fucking hot. Yeah.
That does sound good.
Yeah. Can you not just get it put into like a stab vest? I thought that afterwards. I'm like, surely there's a coat where I can just put many little hot water bottles in.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, this cost me a tenner. All the things you're talking about probably cost way more.
Actual money.
Yeah. And I don't want to spend money. I just want to be warm.
Mm.
I mean, the ideal situation here is it stops being so fucking cold. That's really what I want.
Yeah. Ideally, after a while, this will become a non-issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a suit out of a duvet. Just take your duvet with you.
Oh, don't tempt me. Honestly.
Honestly,
I've been this close a lot of the time.
You wearing an Oudi outside. You know, those kind of like...
Ghost has got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want one of those.
Yeah.
Just take hers. One of those boilable hand warmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the chemically ones that you like snap the things.
Yeah.
And
You
it.
and then you...
An Uve. Yeah.
Tape polar bears to your body. There's a lot of solutions coming out here.
Need an Oodie sponsorship. Well, the problem is the places that I stream are like the warmest places in the world. Like my like little room that's my office, really warm room, and here, which is always warm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it's still a hap that you've got it. It's just
It is
a nap
hap.
that it's not.
It's nap that I have to like balance it on my body rather than it just staying there. I just wear it like a championship belt. It's fine.
Just hit this.
Chuck
By
it
the
over
way,
my shoulder, get up on the top turnbuckle, throw it up, and drop the people's eyebrow. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I love that. Talking of wrestling, actually, I was in town today, and there was a poster for, I think it was like Rumble Wrestling. I think it was called.
I had a similar experience, but it came up on my Facebook, and I'm like, this looks shit. We should go.
We should definitely go. It was at Hawkins. I was like, yeah, let's go. And I was looking at the poster and staring at all the people on it.
I went as far as looking on their website to see if I recognized any of the people.
Did you?
Will Power is on their roster.
Oh, okay.
RJ Singh is on their roster.
Oh, I'd watch RJ. I like RJ Singh.
And then they've got like 4, maybe even 5 Dannys on their roster. It's like Danny this, Danny that, Danny. I'm like, mate, seriously?
You need a stable.
Who's fucking booking this?
You gotta have like a stable that's the 4. I want to say like the 4 horsemen, be the
4 dansmen.
For the 4 dansmen of the apocalypse, and they're all called Danny.
The four dansmen of the Danny clips.
That's what
Just
you
say
should.
Danny.
That should be it.
Yeah.
So we should go to that. We should look that up as soon as we can. That's what I forgot to.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm dying to go to some wrestling because we
haven't had any.
Denied wrestling. So
the 4 horse Dan of the apocalypse. That's what we're going to call it.
Horse Dan is probably better.
Yeah.
I was just trying to say Dan a lot if that wasn't clear.
Well, we'll check that out.
There we go. Right, let's move on. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. We've already done an hour.
Yes.
On This Is Happening and doors and shit. Shall we go?
Yes.
Here?
Oh no, I can't even. Oh yeah.
Okay, it's been a while, as was pointed out.
Yes.
And we're going to do it because it's been a while. This is the segment we call the Cool Wall.
Bow, bow, cool wall. It totally isn't ripped off.
Meow, wow. I laughed at that. Have you ever heard of Genesis Wrestling in Kent? In the beginning was the wrestling, and the wrestling was good.
Yeah.
They saw it was good. If they don't start with that they've missed the fucking trick, to be honest. Or do they just play Genesis, like Peter Gabriel and the other people that are in Genesis? Pete Rutherford, and where's your mother-in-law when we want to talk about Genesis? Phil Collins versus Peter Gabriel. Imagine if you went to Genesis Wrestling. It's like, okay,
all the matches are just that different
Yeah.
people as Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel.
It's just like, this next match is gonna be a sledgehammer. Ba-na-na-na, ba-na. That was actually just Peter Gabriel. Shut up. And someone brings on a sledge. It just writes itself.
It does write itself. Yeah.
We've got to fucking tell them this shit. No, Mike, I haven't.
No.
We haven't seen it, but we do love that shit.
This was called Rumble Wrestling or something. I know that another promotion called UKPW also do the rounds in Kent, and there's that one that Keith, who was one of the standouts of SEPW, which was the wrestling we would always go and see in the local area. I think it's in Snodland. That's not Kent, mate. That's north.
Snodland.
That's north.
I know Snodland.
That's way up there. That's too far for us.
But I love the story of Keith. Like, Keith went from a referee, and I feel we made Keith.
I think you're using that TH sound a bit too much.
Oh.
It's Keith.
Oh, it is Keith.
Yeah. And it's actually spelled Keef as well. Did you not notice that?
I think I did know that.
Keith
Chaos.
Keith Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. The referee is this Rumble, that Steve Says So bloke that was the referee.
Yeah.
Got into the ring. Anyway, this is not a wrestling podcast. If you'd like to listen to a wrestling podcast, the latest episode of the Main Event podcast comes out tomorrow, available to early access to Jez Sports VIPs right now. What is Cool Wall, Alex?
A Cool Wall is where you suggest items to go on the fictitious virtual Cool Wall, also slightly written down by Harmstone. And what happens is you suggest things, and then we decide whether they're hap, nap, mega hap, or mega nap. And if we agree, then it goes on the wall as that.
Yeah, and that's really the barrier in this segment. We have to agree.
We have to agree.
And very often one of us thinks it's hap and the other thinks it's nap, and
that's how it works.
Doesn't go on the wall.
Interested to find out what you think of it as well, of course. So you can just suggest anything, and we have to opine on it in one of those four manners. Now, it looks like Aletha has suggested Russian dolls. You know what a Russian doll is, Jeremy?
I do know what a Russian doll is.
You ever owned any? Did your parents own any?
I think my great aunt might have owned some.
Wow. My mum has some.
Yeah. How do you feel about Russian dolls?
Do you know, as a child, I was amused frequently, even into my teens. I would frequently go to the mantelpiece and undo them until they were like, and then I'd open them all up, and then I'd close them all back up again. They're pretty fucking cool. But I'd say they're hap. I mean, they're not nap. They're just not. I would say they're hap.
They're a bit creepy.
No, I might be. They are a bit creepy.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was round at our friend's house on Friday, and they have a Russian doll tablecloth, which I was kind of obsessed with. Actually, I was looking
at them. How does that work?
Well, I mean, the one tablecloth...
Take one tablecloth off and another one's underneath.
It keeps going down until you got this really tiny tablecloth.
I mean, God help you spill a drink. It's going to take ages to clean up. It'll just go straight through all the layers, get collected at the bottom.
I didn't buy it. I don't know why they had it, but it was really weird. But yeah. Also, Russian Doll is also a TV show on Netflix, which I haven't watched, but I'll probably watch.
Fair enough.
Like so many probablys. But I think...
You've got to watch Arrow first.
Yes. Yes, Arrow's definitely on the list.
Yeah. I don't know where you can watch it, incidentally.
No.
But there
you
you
might
go.
be in trouble.
Yeah, I've got no opinion. So if you want to say it's hap, I'm quite happy to declare that
it's
Russian
hap.
dolls are
I mean,
hap.
they're pretty fun.
Fair enough.
Hap.
What's next?
The band Genesis.
See, I quite like Genesis.
I like Genesis.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I can only name a few. I used to have a Genesis t-shirt, which was handed down to me by my brother Patrick. So I used to walk around with a t-shirt that said The Invisible Touch on it and stuff like that. And people
that sounds a bit pervy.
I was a child.
I even as a child, when my mother used to play Genesis on like LP, I'm like, Invisible Touch sounds pretty damn dirty.
Dodgy.
Like, I'm not sure I want to be touched visibly, let alone invisibly.
I didn't know much about it. I was just like, it was his t-shirt and I just wore it one day, I think, when it was, you get hand-me-downs. I don't even know. I don't think I know enough songs by Genesis to fill an album, but Follow Me, what's it? Like...
I couldn't tell you any of their songs, but I could describe to you one of their album covers, and all the songs on that album are pretty good. It's like blue, and it's got like the the man.
Yes,
it's got that on the front.
Yeah, I think
I don't know what album that is, but that album's pretty
seen
good.
That. Follow Me, Follow You. Is that one of them? Follow me, if you follow you, I will. That one's quite a good one. Land of Confusion is good.
Land of Confusion is good. The cover by Disturbed is better, but still, it's a good song. They wrote it.
This is the world we live in. Ah, that's a good one, yeah. And That's All. And that's not all of them. That literally, there is a song called That's All. Yeah. It's on Now That's What I Call Music 1. So I don't know. I would say Genesis are hap.
I would say they're hap as well. I wouldn't say they're mega hap.
No.
And people do rave about how they are the greatest thing ever. And I wouldn't go that far. But I'd say they're hap.
Yes.
Hap seems reasonable.
We can put that on there.
Boom, that's 2 things on the wall. This could be a record.
I'm just going to clear this up for Mike. Have you both cut down your streaming down these days? I've temporarily stopped doing Thursdays because I want to rework what I want to do with Thursdays and come back with it properly done. So I've just stopped doing Thursdays until all my ducks are in a Thursday related row. And
I've temporarily stopped doing everything because I've been really busy with work.
But mainly we're just pushing this. Yes. So tell everyone about it. Slurpee mini jellies.
Well, having had one,
yes,
I would have to say that they are mega hap.
They are mega hap.
Can I have another one?
Do you want this one? It's a bit sticky, but that's only because it's like a jelly probably leaked on it. That's from a different packet. It might be harder to open.
Is it a different flavour?
I don't know.
Are there different flavours?
There are.
These are pretty awesome.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, they are mega hap. I agree. Let's agree again. You have this...
They do make me smile.
They have this child... He looks like a happy schoolboy who's just paid 10p for a mini jelly. I almost feel like I should
turn my hat around when I'm eating them because it makes me look like a 12-year-old.
Oh, by the way, Jeremy, just as an aside, when we were in Watford, yes, we went to another place that was terrible.
Shit. Yeah.
Really, the Midlands is a wasteland of terrible places to hang out. And I don't recommend it. Like, basically, be in the south or be in the north, but just don't be in the Midlands.
Well, Snodland was too north for me, so yeah, I definitely don't need to get to the Midlands. It's definitely too north.
Watford isn't the Midlands, is it not? It just feels like the
Yeah,
Midlands.
I don't think Bedford's the Midlands either. I wasn't going to correct you, but
It feels like the Midlands, is it not?
no,
Where do you think it is then?
North London.
Well, is that not because in my head, right? Isn't it just like that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, fuck off Scotland. And then that's us, and that's the north. So that's that.
I'm
right?
disappointed
London.
that you can't see this on camera because you're gonna have to take that a bit closer.
But do you know what I mean, though? Right? Oh god, my leg's fucked. I can't do this.
Is this the part where I tell him that I don't know what he means?
Right. So that's the United Kingdom.
Don't let him read the other side.
Oh shit! Yeah. No, they can't read my writing. Anyway, don't worry about that. That's Scotland. Scotland ends there, and then that's the north. That's us. So that's the Midlands. Oh shit. What I mean is, like, that is a quick version of the United Kingdom.
I mean, the Midlands isn't very big, is it? It's mostly just like Birmingham, Coventry, Leicester.
I guess the way of
And that's
describing
about it.
the way of describing it is
There's some stuff on the other side, I guess. But
ignoring
who gives a fuck about that?
ignoring the West Country
West
and
Country.
above us.
West Country's not Midlands, is it?
No, I don't
No.
think so. What I mean is ignoring the West Country, ignoring us in Kent, ignoring the very south, which is obviously the south by nature of it being the south. Once you've gone past London and you've gone past the M25 and you're up, that strikes me as the middle of the country because it's below Yorkshire and it's above London and below Captain Brilliant Land. That's how I see it. I could be wrong,
I think you are, but
but I don't think it's. I don't
is
think
that
it's
a map of Egypt? Says Ali. Welcome in, Ali.
It's. I don't think it. But Jeremy, I don't think it's nuanced enough to us to like. I mean, what is the Midlands then? I don't really know, but I don't care either. The bottom line is, I can rephrase this: Bedford and Watford, Midlands or not,
Yeah,
are shit.
yeah. I was going to say this tangentially took us away from the fact you were in Watford, and I can't remember what the reason that you
Midlands
were
is
bringing
Leicester.
up Watford for. Leicester is the Midlands.
Yeah, Leicester is the Midlands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really understand where any of this stuff is because I don't really live near it.
It's basically
So-
just Birmingham.
So, like, Birmingham's the Midlands, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So we were like an hour away from Birmingham. So, like, I don't see where that. It's not like it's not outrageous, right?
I mean, it's the UK. We're an hour away from fucking anything. It's
Yeah.
not that big.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's why I think the Midlands can occupy more of a space than most people think.
Yeah.
Bedford ain't Midlands, your lordship. I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you what's Midlands.
Can't pay. Well, Midlands it
I
away.
feel like I'm really. I don't know why James got me my ire on 2 occasions.
This is the hill.
I have to double down or I have to apologise.
It's
Fuck
the
you,
hill
James.
he'll die on.
I don't know.
And it looks like a triangle with circles on it.
Hello, Ali. How's it going? Is that a map of Egypt? It could be. It could be.
I mean, I don't think it looks like a pyramid. You know that, right?
Shove it. I haven't played Magic now for 5 months. I was in a terrible geek retreat the other day in the awful Midlands town of Bedford, and they were saying if you're new to Magic, you should play some Commander, and I just thought, what a fucking load of bullshit. And I realised I hadn't played it for a while. So having said that, Mike, I have not played it either. But maybe we should play some more. Let's move.
While you magicked it up, I decided I'd look at a map.
Oh, well, it probably looks a bit like this.
I mean, okay, they've got the Midlands pretty low compared to what I would have said, but there you go.
Well, this is it. It's, you know.
Yeah, it's got Hereford and Worcestershire in the Midlands. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Okay, whatever. Fuck you. Anyway,
Is that all I'm getting?
I'm not saying you're right.
You kind of were.
No, I'm not. Where were we? So Slurpy Mini Jellies.
Slurpy Mini Jellies, mega hap.
Absolutely.
Put it on the board. That's not something we do. Land of a Thousand Dances. Is that just something we need to opine on? Is they just picking that as a Genesis song?
I think they were just listing Genesis songs, yeah.
Because that's not a Genesis song.
What, Land of a Thousand Dances?
No.
No.
That's the one that says Boney Maroney, bow bow, do the burn bone.
That does not sound like Genesis. No.
It doesn't.
No.
Na 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 na. Do you know that song?
No.
Oh, what do you think of it?
Sound alright?
Because I think it might be one that we have to cool wall. You see, that's what I'm taking from that.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah,
Land
I'm
of a Thousand
suspect.
Dances?
Yes, that I've just sung to you.
We've got to put that on the call wall.
Yes, but you've only got my version to go for, basically.
Yeah, that's not doing it any favors.
That's a pity because I sang it in a tribute band once. I think it's Hap.
Needs more information.
Okay, we can't work on that one.
Yeah.
Geese. You just saying geese because I said something about ducks.
Maybe, but let's put geese on the call wall.
Oh, fuck geese.
Yeah, geese are mega nap.
I will say the mega nap.
Bitey, pecky little pricks.
Yeah, fuck geese.
Geese and mega nap. That was easy. Alex's geography. Hap, nap, mega nap.
I think it's Hap. I think I've been proven completely correct.
Cool wall, the Midlands. The Midlands. Do you know? I don't hate the Midlands.
I don't. I'm sure there are other Midlands places that I enjoy.
Like Leicester, quite like Leicester. Birmingham, I don't hate Birmingham.
No, I've had nice
most people
times there.
hate Birmingham. I think Birmingham's all right. Nottingham, is that Midlands or is that North? I love Nottingham.
Nottingham's great, and that's
Nottingham's
in the
a
Midlands.
great city.
100% in the Midlands.
Yeah. I think the Midlands are Hap.
I think the Midlands are Hap as well.
Yeah, they sound a bit daft, but
They do.
you can't have it all.
I used to have lace making lessons in Luton. Well, at least it alliterated.
What? As in shoelaces or like you
The
use for
beautiful
wedding dresses,
doilies and shit.
and neck curtains and stuff.
I stand by my stupid fucking drawing. I want you to rate Land of a Thousand Dances. Yeah, I think it's a great, great song, but he doesn't know it.
And I do know it ish, but if I'm gonna put it on a wall, I need to really do my due diligence.
We'll come back.
Do due diligence. That's fair.
There's a video out there somewhere of me performing that as part of a Blues Brothers tribute band, where I don't know the words, much like I didn't then, and I just had to find words that rhymed with the word.
It didn't sound like it's got words, to be fair.
Yeah,
so,
he says like, you do the Boney Maroney.
And turn around. That's what it's all about. I do know it. There
Okie dokie dokie.
Whoa, 1,000 dances.
Oh, 1,000 dances.
Bedford isn't Midlands. Rah, rah, rah.
That's a great song. I showed Alex a Canada goose. It was a duck. We're looking out the window. I'm like, that's a duck.
Isn't Canada Goose a beer? I'm pretty sure that's a beer.
It is, and I drank it immediately once you showed me it. I thought I was drinking a duck. Did we have Alex's rulings on Alex's geography? Oh. My fucking geography.
I was just joking about that, really.
No, I know, but it says it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling him.
Oh,
you.
I see.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I was just joking. This is a comedy show, Harmstone.
I like it, though. Doilies and shit. Rate this answer to an exam question for one of the year 11s. This question was as disappointing as Liz Truss's PM.
That's a Hap answer.
That is funny, but I have to say, it's a bit of an old... I mean, we've moved on from Liz Truss.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't really around long enough to even really be rated, was she?
I mean, yeah, she wasn't around long enough for it to be topical enough. So I'd say, listen, you need to get a more current affair related joke. But it is quite funny.
Oh, it's in Fern Gully, says Karis. Well, let me tell you, Karis, Fern Gully is Nap. So...
What's in Fern Gully?
Land of a Thousand Dances.
Oh, is it?
Apparently.
Karis
Karis is the only person that watched that Fern Gully. Like, I had it on video and I didn't even watch it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Our feedback, but not as disappointing as your grade. Boom, mic drop. That is the correct answer. Well done.
Are there any other cool walls? I think we're agreeing too much here.
We're doing quite well.
I know.
Apart from Land of a Thousand Dances, everything has gone on the wall in some description. Yeah. Wearable hot water bottles.
I think they're Hap.
I think they're Hap too.
Yeah.
Company's not making them big enough for men.
Nap.
Yeah.
Isn't that Here Comes the Hot Stepper? Hit it. Ma na 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 na.
Isn't that the one that like Here
Here comes the hot stepper, murderer. I'm the lyrical dancer, murderer. Murderer.
That one.
Strawberry.
I know that one.
Like a strawberry.
That one's
That's Hap.
Hey, maybe we should do a new segment where they say the names of songs and we just kind of scat them.
I feel I might be ripping off Vic Reeves circa 1995, but nobody will remember him.
That was a long time ago.
I know, right? We could do the whole segment, and we should rip off every segment, take it from somewhere.
Yeah.
You're the scat man. Skidabadababababo. I don't think there's anything. Always be scatting.
Yeah, as a child, I had a problem with the scat man. I'm like, I'm 10 and I know what that word means.
Yeah.
He's the poop man.
I'm the yeah, exactly.
Why is he
right.
pooping everywhere?
If the scat man can do it, so can you.
I said poop because I was 10, obviously. Now I'd say shit man. And he was shit.
Always be scatting.
Yeah. Depends
That
what
could
you
be a
eat,
segment.
really, doesn't it? It shouldn't be always be scatting. No.
I could just do a segment in the new Thursday bit, which would always be scatting, and then I just go a and then that's it, and it just like doesn't go anymore. It just goes.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the entire thing.
It's a bit like the is that not Anna Torv segment.
That's a great segment.
So that's coming soon.
Shall we move on? Because I only say because
time is dwindling away, and we've got to get the fuck on
time
with
moves
it.
along relentlessly.
Yeah. I can put my notes
Will's
back
here.
in there.
Will's here.
Welcome in, Will. Hello. Thank you very much for
116 bits. Thank you very, very much, and welcome in. That's
For the
2
bitties.
segments sorted. We've got more to come.
Yeah.
A little bit about that, as I said, was like Thursdays will be more dominated by Always Be related stuff. So if you've got a suggestion for an Always Be segment,
Always be being.
always just yes.
Alex goes to feed the bees. Mate, I'd actually really want to see that now.
Are you feeding bees?
Always be being, and you go there. You can wear one of those suits if you want.
Thank God for
Have
that.
you seen the fit girl on TikTok who's like a beekeeper?
Yes.
And she just goes out there just in her like in a shorts and a t-shirt and just like has bees all over. I'm like, thank you for not wearing clothes, but like I'm concerned for your safety. This
She
is a
also,
bit,
if it's the same person I'm thinking of, she talks in a very soft ASMR voice. And she's
I
like,
don't turn up the volume on my phone, so I wouldn't ever know. I don't use
she comes out and
volume.
she's just like, so someone contacted me to take some bees away because their bees had got into a hive under their car. I found the queen was dead, but luckily I had a spare queen with me, and I'm like,
hive under their car. How long have you not used your car for?
I mean, I just made up the first thing that came into my head like a good improvisey boy. But can you imagine that? It's just like...
Yeah, she literally scoops up bees with her bare hands. Yeah, she's like that.
She does.
These bees shouldn't be here. Let's put them
She does.
in the hive.
She's like,
And I'm like...
a hive has been found in our loft. They called me out to do it. I needed to transfer them to a new hive. So
I picked them up.
So I picked them up. She says, I found the queen and moved her, and they all came across.
Yeah, that's how she does it. Move the queen.
Move the queen. But often the ones I've been watching, the queen is dead, in the words of Morrissey. And as a result, she needs to bring
Long
in...
live the queen.
Indeed, needs a new queen. So she puts a new queen in. It says... And then they say something like... She says...
Does that work? I thought bees were like familial and stuff. Like
As a result...
It'd be like if one day, like 4-year-old Alex,
Yes.
sitting at home,
Yes.
and your mum died, and somebody just comes along and plops a new mum in your house and is like, "Here you go, Alex, it's your mum."
Well, you may well say that, Jeremy, but she said that the hive may reject the queen. She said,
and beat the fuck out of her.
and they'll kill her and eat her.
Yeah.
And they're like, if we
If that happens, that's 2 hives without queens.
I know. At which point I don't. But like I said, luckily they have accepted the queen and everything's okay. But they might. I've introduced a new queen. I had a queen with me, and they might reject the queen and kill the queen. I'm like, fuck me. But yeah.
So that was bees. That didn't really get us any closer to the next segment. But there we go.
Got
It
some
was
ideas
interesting.
though for always be chatting. That's good. Alex speaks calmly to or interviews bees. I should interview a bee. Alex plays cricket, always be batting. I could probably do that. I'm more of a bowler than a batter, I have to say. Always be splatting. Special guest, slap a pie in Alex's face. I like the sound
Well,
of this.
wait for the summer. Let some flies in. Always be splatting.
Always bam.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
happening.
Right. Let's move on.
Please.
Reminded by earlier episodes that have been rerunning on YouTube. This is not a Star Trek podcast, but we talk about Star Trek anyway. It's the segment we like to call "Don't Get Me Star Trekked." He'll never not laugh at the things. Ever.
Oh my god. Picard's out. Season 3, Jeremy.
So obviously, we're going to talk about it.
Well, I watched it because I thought, oh shit, it's going to be on Paramount Plus and I don't have that. But it wasn't.
It's on Prime as well, is it?
It is on Prime and I
did
watched
wonder.
it.
It is on Paramount Plus because that's where I watched it.
I was fortunate enough to be able to watch it where I did.
It's obviously simulcast.
I wasn't going to watch it because the second season of Picard, in my opinion, IMHO, was so bad, and I complained about it so much, it prompted Aletha to say,
Why are you watching this?
Why are you watching this, you fucking idiot? And I said, I'm going to watch the third one. And she's like, listen to yourself. And I said, yeah, but I want to know, and I love Star Trek, and I want to give all of these things a chance.
I mean, I didn't hate it as much as you did, but I was pretty pissed off with all of the continuity errors and how it was basically just, let's look at Picard in his mind, and it was a bit weird. Yeah. Season 3,
yes,
I will say, has been a massive turnaround on season 2
Very
because
true.
it's actually good.
I agree.
And it's probably the first of the Picard's seasons to actually be good. There's still time to ruin it. There's 7 episodes left, but they're off to a good start so far.
Do you know what I think? And this isn't a Star Trek podcast, and maybe we should have one because we're very knowledgeable about. Can't speak. We're very knowledgeable about it, but I hope you like Star Trek because we're fucking talking about it for probably 10 minutes.
Yeah, if not, come back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Sit the fuck down. James, sit the fuck down. Anyway, part of the problem I thought was Picard season 1 and 2 is they used shit which was old Borg /
it was
data
just
shit.
Indulgent fan service shit, wasn't it?
It
Without
was
any story, really. Just
Yes.
Let's throw a bunch of shit in
In the
wall
first
and-
season, it was like, this is going to be, it's always someone's fucking son or daughter. This is Data's daughter. Here's Data. The end. And the second one was, the Borg? Well, they're back. And I just like, fuck Data, fuck his daughter, and fuck the Borg. Let's have some credible villains. And no more fan service.
I mean, I would fuck his daughter. She was pretty cute.
She was, and there were 2 of them at one point. That would have been fun.
The dream.
Yes. But, I mean, we can hardly say there's not going to be any fan service in this one where they're bringing back literally every person that was in The Next Generation.
Oh, and speaking of people's daughters, they've even invented daughters for Geordie LaForge.
Oh, yeah! Daughter LaForge.
Even though LeVar Burton's actual daughter is also going to be in the series.
Oh, really?
A bit later,
Oh,
yeah.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
At some point, Geordie's going to turn up. They're all going to turn up. And also, by the way, they're using the whole Next Generation font on all the intros and outros. It's all
did
Next
like that,
Generation.
yeah.
I like that as well, actually. They've called the Next Generation, the first episode was called The Next Generation, and the second episode was called Disengage. And they're all, and he does at one point just say engage, which actually was strangely enough, I wasn't prepared for. He pauses long enough.
I wasn't expecting him to be in command of a ship at any point.
No.
Again.
So I went, oh, that, I wasn't ready for him to say that. But yes, I have to say, I haven't watched Picard, but I managed 2 seasons of Discovery, which was so bad, it made me burst out laughing.
Now, I don't agree there. And you do have the prevailing opinion there, Dr. Fruitbat. Most people who like Star Trek don't like Discovery for some reason. But I'm currently rewatching Discovery.
Oh, really?
And I'm enjoying it just as much now as I did the first time, as I'm reaching the conclusion of the first series.
My opinion of Discovery was the first season was excellent. The second season was really good also. I really enjoyed the kind of, what was it, the Red Angel? I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
Then the third season I thought was bad. And the fourth season, I watched a couple of episodes and then stopped.
I liked the third season. And then they got to the fourth season, and it was basically a carbon copy of the third season. So
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
We did this. Were you not there? Like you made this shit. Did you not notice you've done this already? And then the fifth season is coming up next year and will be the last.
Probably for the best. That's a pity, really, because
So
I used to love it.
what I didn't like was all the fucking troglodytes on Facebook celebrating that Disco had been cancelled. So yeah.
Disco season 2 is the worst plotting of any TV series I've ever seen. And it hits the final episode, and they clearly hadn't worked out how to end it. I
don't agree.
I do know why you're saying that. I get what I kind of, if I'm remembering it correctly, and I clearly probably am not, but there was a feeling that I got a sense that they didn't know where they were going. What my dad would say is a bit like that Portmeirion show, Alex, by which he means The Prisoner, which is a show which didn't know how they were going to end it, basically. But
this is also a conversation we've previously had on Don't Get Me Started.
That Portmeirion show. He knows it's called The Prisoner. And Lost. I never watched Lost.
Lost is the biggest culprit of we didn't have a plan beyond the first season, so we just make it up as we go along.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The fucking writers are lost. As I've heard people say in the past, but I've never watched Lost, so I can't really say what happens in Lost or comment on it. Maybe I should watch it.
Yeah, the best thing about Lost after the first season is when at the beginning of the episode it goes, previously on Lost. It's just a cool voice.
Yeah, there. As it is, well, what was we talking about in terms of Picard season 3? I just kind of, in a way, it's the whole thing is meant to be indulgent. It's all about Picard, but there's a lot of kind of in the second season of Picard, he's faced with the chance to be in love with this Romulan woman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets zipped off to the past, which I'm not against, but was kind of crap. And we've done it before, and the Borg are involved, and this whole kind of soul searching. I'm not ready to fall in love. God damn it! I'm Picard. I shouldn't fall in love. I don't get in love, but I'm gonna be in love. And I'm
too
in love.
young for love.
And it's just like eventually he's in love.
170 years old.
And then the third season, we revisit Beverly Crusher, who's a significant part of this, who looks very strange. I know they've all got a bit older, but
Let me just say.
Yes.
Spoilers incoming.
Spoilers incoming. Spoilers incoming. Spoilers incoming. But she's hanging around with a lad who's pretty dynamic and gung-ho, and Picard lost contact with her 20 years ago. These about 20 years old, and I'm like, oh no, God. And then Riker, it's like, do you not see what I'm seeing, Captain? This guy, doesn't he remind you of anyone? And Riker spends most of episode 2 just fucking pointing up the back. And he's like, shut up, Will, I don't care about that, and blah, blah, blah. And then later on, there's a knowing look between him and Beverly, and he goes, oh my God, it's my son. I'm like, no, shut up, no.
I didn't like the turnaround there of like yes, let's get rid of this kid. Let's send him to the
evil villain.
Let's give him to the villain so that we get left alone. Like, who is he anyway? Who gives a fuck who he is? Beverly walks in and just goes, right, we're keeping the boy. Let's start a war. Fuck it. Who gives a fuck? I'm keeping my son.
A war. The thing about that, in my opinion, was just like, it was so obvious, and we had to draw it out for so long, and everything that Riker was saying, like, can't you see this? And he's like, stuff and nonsense, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, God, Picard. And then really wasn't enough to really work on. But remember Nemesis, the film
I do,
Nemesis?
and I rewatched it just before watching season 3.
Because that was another,
I ran down the list of, like, when the showrunners basically put out if you want to get the best experience out of Picard season 3, you should rewatch these episodes.
Right.
And so I took that above and beyond and watched all of TNG again, and then watched
Nemesis.
And then I watched Nemesis,
and
a few episodes of DS9.
There's a clone of Picard, and he's like, he's your son, he's not my son. I'm like, I can't be doing this. I swear to God.
Yeah, it's Tom Hardy, isn't it?
It's Tom Hardy, yeah. And at the time, we didn't really know who Tom Hardy was, I suppose.
Well,
but
it's Romulan Picard.
But it's just like, every episode of this stuff is got to be like, Picard's love life, I don't give a fuck.
There was another episode as well that I'd completely forgotten, and you may have forgotten as well, where the like Ferengi who were involved in the his old ship, the Stargazer thing, came back and was like, ha ha ha, I found the way to get my revenge on you. I'm going to kill your son.
Yes.
And then they've just plopped this son in. And it's like, yeah, here's your son, see? I'm going to kill him, see?
Is he a gangster from the 1940s?
He pretty much was, yeah.
Here's your son, see?
Yeah. And then they were like, hey, he looks like you. He does things like you. He's climbing and stuff. And then it was like,
rash.
Goes to Beverly. Actually, he's not your son. Right. Okay then. Well, fuck him then. Except that's the original series.
It is, isn't it? I couldn't think about it for the moment. Ba 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 ba. Not it, is it either?
That's
No.
Voyager.
No, I kind of knew that one. But yeah, I swear if they do a
I
fourth
swear.
to the moon and the stars,
And many other stars.
if they do a fourth series
They're
of
not.
Picard, yes, but if they do,
They're not.
but should they?
Let me stop you.
Yes,
They're not.
but let's if I were to write a fan fiction season 4,
You won't.
I won't. Are they, me, or anybody else, even if they're not, going to bring back Vash,
Your premise is accepted. Continue.
his lover from the episode Captain's Holiday, when he goes to Risa, meets Vash and hangs around
yeah,
and has a good old
Vash.
time,
Yeah.
right? Who then is later used in an episode you don't like called Cupid, where they get taken by Q back to Nottingham.
It's got all of the elements of Star Trek I don't like.
Correct. It's not on the ship. It's
got
including
Q in
Q. See, I know what you don't like, and just like, but it has Vash in it, and she's cast as Maid Marian. You guys who are nerds and like Next Generation will know this episode, and so it's like I think Q
It's
is like,
really not a good episode.
I
it's
love
like
it.
one of the weakest TNG episodes.
I think it's great.
But anyway, carry on.
But we'll get into another point. But essentially,
we really do need to do an actual Star Trek podcast.
But like the reason it's of a time for me and my friends really liked it. So for me, it has like nostalgia value aside from many other things that I like about it. But Q posits that a woman is his downfall and he'll do anything for love. He's like, nonsense, Q! I would never do such a thing.
Is he
And-
Meatloaf? But I
Meatloaf
won't
is in
do that.
But yeah, and then they cast Vash, him as Robin Hood, and Vash as Maid Marian, and like basically. So I reckon they'll bring back. He'll be and on it'll be like this in season 4, which obviously there isn't going to be. He'll turn round and someone will come through and it'll be like, oh my god.
Is it going to be like that Spider-Man scene where they're all pointing at each other, but all the people are like Picard's past loves?
It will be like that. That's what it's like now. I'd just be like, he'll be there and he'll be like kissing Beverly, and the woman who's the Romulan woman is like, I can't believe you're doing this. It's like, person whose name isn't important. I can't believe that you haven't met Beverly. And then in walks Vash, and it's like, Vash.
Oh, this is awkward.
This is super awkward. So yes, by the way, there's so many always be things. I've got to go back over them in a minute. But and what I'm saying is they'll bring back Vash just so he can admit that he loves her, and then she dies, saving his life at the end. That's what's going to happen. It's so easy to do. They're going to do a 4th season just to prove that they could bring back Vash.
Yeah, okay. They're not, but apparently
Yes.
they are going to do more Picard universe-y type things. So just because Picard is ending doesn't mean we might not get like Worf or
Yeah.
Riker or something.
Don't know how I feel about all these people coming back. But I think maybe we
Let
should...
me say the highlight, just to close out, the highlight
please.
of Picard season 3 so far
Yes.
is Worf chokeslamming the fuck out of some dude and then dropping the line, beheadings are on Wednesdays.
Worf has been one of the best things in it. And when he...
Him and
When
his
he
fucking
did-
chamomile tea. I'm like losing my shit.
When
I
he
can't-
has had so far, and I know what they're doing because they're playing all the deadpan Worf lines basically, which they do in Cupid as well. When he says "I'm not a merry man" and all that sort of stuff, he's been doing a lot of those.
Oh, it hits another level in DS9, all of the deadpan, because it becomes a big part of his relationship with Jadzia Dax, that she's like, you don't have a sense of humor. And so he keeps dropping like deadpan lines to prove that he does have a sense of humor.
I haven't remembered that, so I'm going to have to go back and watch
DS9
it.
is great. Love DS9.
Me too. But suffice to say, he's really good. And when he body slams,
Choke slams.
choke slam. It was a choke slam. When well, I thought he kind of ducked under, so I shouted rock bottom anyway while I was on my own. Well, I was not on my own, but I shouted rock bottom anyway. It looks a bit rock bottomy to me.
Aletha woke up and said, "Shut the fuck up!"
Rock bottom! Rock bottom!
Yeah, no, it was definitely a choke slam.
Oh, well, I'll go with that
And
anyway.
Tuesdays are for choke slams, it turns out.
Yes.
So there you go.
Suffice to say, I am enjoying it, but I got to this bit where like Riker and Picard were kind of getting each other, trying to work out the best way to get out of this situation. I understand kind of how it worked, but I felt like they were made to look a bit incompetent, and I don't like the episode where... Also, I don't like the villain. The villain is annoying me because they made... Rather than making some sort of villain, they've made the villain be all kind of like whimsical and kind of... Yeah, and I don't like a whimsical villain. Like, oh, I'm so in control, so powerful that I can just be super
Smoking
cigars and whimsical. I'm like, oh god, it just annoys me because then when they make Picard and Riker look really fucking stupid, it undermines, it devalues the belt, is what I feel like. Do you know what I kind of mean?
Yeah, yeah. You never talk down your opponent. You always build up your opponent, so it's more impressive when you beat them.
Yeah, at the moment, it's just they look like
Classic
fucking
wrestling psychology.
They look like the fucking Stooges. They look fucking like and they're kind of
plucked out of the retirement home on a ship that isn't their own.
Yeah.
The other person's already got a bigger ship and has got the upper hand, and so obviously they're not going to win, are they?
Yeah, and they're made to look a bit, and I just didn't like that. But I'm sure it will get better. Yeah. Can I read some of these things as we lose this?
I would say there's been far too much, and you should probably catch it on the replay.
Okay, fair enough.
Because otherwise,
always be Chris Pratting
for quite a
while.
while.
I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. I did see some of them. Yeah. Alex joins the circus. Always be bureaucrating. Alex joins the civil service. I used to work for the civil service, so I've already done that.
Right, let's move on,
please.
And we still, after all this time, don't have a sting for this segment.
Go on.
But very excited to do this segment again. It's time for the return of controversial opinions.
And this is where we'd play a sting. If we had one!
I went on Google and found like the first hit was for controversial opinions was like 120 controversial opinions, and
we're going to do them all in order,
commencing number
with
1.
10 minutes discussion on each one.
Number 1.
Pull up a chair, get a drink, make yourself comfortable, sit on your feet so that they get cramp,
and they fall over,
that kind of stuff.
I think that the person who wrote these is a fucking idiot, and I don't even know. I think
Art stands to reason.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you can tell us what you think about
cramp.
all of these things. Some of these things were so stupid that we had to write them down, not because we believed in them, but we just wanted to see what you'd say. Oh no, I need bed.
Fight it, Karis.
Controversial opinions. This first one's actually all right. Some of them aren't so good. Oatmeal and raisin are better than chocolate chip cookies.
Facts.
Oatmeal and raisin cookies are better than chocolate chip cookies.
Straight up fact.
No. No, says Dr. Fruitbat. And he has the word fruit in his name, and that would include raisins.
The thing is, right, instead of having that doughy shit that's really sugary and cloys in your teeth,
yes,
you've got like oat biscuits.
And and kind of different textures in there.
Yeah. And raisins are fucking incredible.
I'm not a big raisin fan, so I don't agree with this. I'm not.
You are?
I'm not. Do you want to keep saying this forever? I just figured someone's got to stand up to you, Jeremy. Incorrect, says Tamsin.
I don't think they do need to stand up to me. I think they just need to agree and move on.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, thank you.
Next. I see it. You are wrong. People in general disagree with this sentiment.
I mean, who's she talking to, me or you?
I think she's talking to the person that wrote this. Oatmeal and raisin cookies are better than chocolate chip. You are wrong.
Well, then you are wrong.
I like them both. Crunchy oat biscuits are amazing. Soft oat cookies can go in the bin.
No, they're amazing. Like, you can get like a tray of them from Tesco or One Stop, because that's the same company.
Right.
And they're incredible.
It's not the raisins in contention. It's the softness of the oats.
Yeah, it's got to be soft. Like the soft ones. They're nice.
In a cookie, I mean, the cookie bit is still crunchy enough for it to.
Cookies are generally soft. That's the nature of
I find
cookies.
they're a bit.
Yeah, that's a biscuit, mate. That's a different thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think that's well.
I suppose like Maryland cookies and stuff, they're harder, but But generally, like you get a cookie from Subway, you get a cookie from a bakery.
Oh yeah, they're a bit soft. Yeah.
Soft cookies are supposed to be soft, excepting.
I never really considered this.
Maryland chocolate chip cookies.
Man, we need to get someone.
They're pretty shit as well, because you bite into them and they just launch powder into your throat and you cough.
Softness is bad. The crunch is what makes oat biscuits great.
No.
I think I need to.
If you want it to be a bit harder, then get a flapjack or a biscuit.
Listen, I don't want to have to make us eat these things, and we don't have any here. But I feel like.
Do we not? I thought we were like segueing.
Amazing segue, and they're here tonight. Bring them in, lads.
Having some oat and raisin cookies.
I never really considered this. I was at Starbucks the other day, and I got like a cookie, and it was like a chocolate chip cookie, and that was quite solidy, and that was a cookie. But I mean, they called it a cookie, but it was.
The problem is because of this argument of American, like, it's called a cookie. No, it's a biscuit. Like, that argument has completely diluted the fact that everyone is wrong. A cookie's a cookie and a biscuit's a biscuit.
So you're saying
doesn't matter where it's from,
if
what
it's
country you're
hard,
in.
it's a. I just want to kind of clarify your position. If it's hard, it's a biscuit. If it's soft, it's a cookie.
No,
and that's...
not necessarily.
Okay.
It's about the way that
I'm not trying to catch you out. I'm just saying whether.
Yeah, it's about the way that they're made.
Right.
Like, so like when people like, if I present an American with a rich tea biscuit, they'll be like, "That's a cookie." I'm like, "No, it's a biscuit."
No, that's a biscuit.
Yeah, yeah. And then if I take a chocolate chip cookie to a British person, they'll be like, "That's a biscuit." I'm like, no, it's a cookie. Like, they're prepared in a different way. They're different things. Stop trying to be like language supremacist. It's a cookie and a biscuit are different things. Stop confusing them. And an oat biscuit is much better than a chocolate chip cookie.
We're gonna have to get some of these things.
Yeah.
Love a dead fly biscuit. When we went round to see Aletha's mum, she had provided some Garibaldi biscuits.
Garibaldi's or shortcakes.
Or do you say Garibaldi's or
shortcakes? That's the dead fly biscuit.
Oh right, yeah. Well, we had some Garibaldi. I don't like them, but then I don't
Garibaldi.
like raisins in them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's you with the problem.
Almost all the time.
It's the Alex that is wrong.
You can't have. And by the way, I've asterisked this because it is bullshit. But you can't have too many baby showers. This isn't really a controversial opinion. It just was in the list, and I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd read, so I wrote it down. You can't have too many baby showers.
Well, you probably can, like if the baby's been born.
Surely one per baby. What are they suggesting? That someone has a baby and they have like 8 showers? One per baby.
Basically, the person who wrote this is like, I want stuff. I will have as many baby showers as possible so that I keep getting more
What is
stuff.
This obsession? I went a bit high. What? What is this obsession with baby showers? I just, like, they're just people. I mean, I guess it's people that have kids and fuck them kids, but, 0 babies is correct. I mean, I agree, but
there you go. And there's the dictionary definition of what I've been trying to say.
Okay.
Biscuits and cookies are different.
Random website says, much like cake, cookies are made from soft, thick dough and are denser than an English biscuit. That's true. Well, yeah, okay.
Or just a biscuit.
When they are finished, cookies are larger, softer, chunkier. I want a biscuit. I want a cookie now. Than their biscuit cousins.
Do you want a biscuit or a cookie?
I'm not opposed to either, but I want a cookie right now. In contrast, the word biscuit comes from the Latin bis. I want it to be something stupid. Comes from the Latin bis. And kit, meaning oven. It essentially means twice baked. There you go. From the people who brought you gender reveal parties. That's what I'm thinking. That's what's in my brain. Yeah. For the people who brought you gender reveal parties, it's multiple baby showers. It's like, we needed a gender reveal party, get some presents there. Baby shower, get some presents there.
This summer, it's the event too big to just have one of the things for. It's baby shower, part 1. Stay tuned this autumn for baby shower, part 2.
It's the event Alex said could go fuck itself. Here's something. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion. By the way, I would say, and if you look this up, you'll find them on 120 controversial opinions. Some of these are just shit that the person who wrote the article thought. They're not controversial.
Let me say, a shit take is a very different thing to a controversial opinion. And the list was mostly just shit takes.
But you're going to get a mix of everything. Just respond to it anyway. If you're a morning person, you cannot be trusted.
Seems like a mass generalization.
I think that's fine.
Discuss.
If you're a morning person, you cannot be trusted. Are you a morning person, Jeremy?
Not anymore. I used to be.
Not since I read that out.
Yeah, no. I used to be. I used to be up at 6 and then
up with the lark.
Yeah, and then
whatever that is.
Get shit done and enjoy my entire day. I would then, have to go to bed earlier because apparently I can only be up a certain number of hours. But I haven't really changed anything from getting up later and going to bed later. It's just time, isn't it? Time's a social construct. It doesn't really exist.
No.
So there you go.
If you're a morning person, I'm not a morning person. Dr. Fruitbad is 100% not a morning person. Yeah. Morning or morning? Not currently morning. Okay, here's one that's legitimately meant to be a controversial opinion.
Mornings are deleted.
You're
barely an afternoon person. I mean, it's true.
It's
you
true.
stay up all night pretty much.
I do stay up all night.
I do envy your ability to never sleep and be okay. I genuinely envy that.
It is strange. But I have been getting a lot more sleep recently, which has been good.
There you go then.
I can go to sleep pretty quick, but in the morning I need a solid 45 to 60 minutes of dozing to let my mind tick over and wake up. Yeah, I need a waking up.
It's worse in the winter because the world is so cold.
Mm.
And it's easier in the summer when I can just get up and it's warm and life is beautiful. The sun is shining. Birds are being loud as fuck, so you can't sleep anyway. You know, the good stuff.
Always be waking. I misread that as the correct version of that phrase. Okay. Friends is not a good TV show.
Objectively bullshit. Of course it is.
Friends is not a good TV show. Discuss.
I think that's the new, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Is things people say to be edgy. Like Friends isn't any good though, is it? Like, yes, it is.
People have said that Friends looks bad in some areas and Ross isn't. There are aspects to it that have not aged well, but I do believe that those are smaller aspects to the overarching kind of like aspect, which is it's generally fucking great.
Yes. Yeah. It has not aged well in certain aspects, but
I was watching it the other day and it was still fucking funny.
I mean, even the bits that haven't aged very well, at least it's taking the piss out of those aspects. It's not celebrating them. It's nobody is like laughing with Ross.
No,
they're laughing at Ross
yes.
for being an outrageous dickhead. So it kind of is fine in that sense.
There's an episode we watched the other day, which is the one where no one's ready. It's the one where it's all like that certain time period is exactly as they're trying to get ready. And it's the one where Joey wears all of Chandler's clothes because he won't get out of his seat and he left the chair area. That whole episode where he's like, you're taking my underwear, I'm going to do the opposite. They're all trying to get ready.
Could I be wearing any more clothes?
Yeah, it's a great episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But like a load of them aren't ready to go, and then Ross loses his shit with Rachel and says, "I don't care. No, I don't want to listen to it. Get in there and put on anything." And he really, really doubles down on being a cunt. And I just think it's not a good look for Ross.
It isn't, but she is being completely unreasonable at the same time.
She's kind of but she's no less crap than
she
Chandler
usually is.
Well, I was going to say than Chandler and Joey, who are also not ready to go.
Yeah, he doesn't call them out.
No, he doesn't call them out, and they're not. No one's ready to go. But like the point of this is that he needs to have a go at her so she can go, "I'm not going," and then he has to be suggested he drinks the fat. So it's kind of the joke is worked backwards from that, and he's forced into kind of being a cunt about it. But it's not the first time. But anyway, I still find it really funny when he's like, "But you left the chair area." And then later on in the kind of like credits bit where like they're at the thing and the old guy's sitting in Chandler's chair and he's like, "Okay, give me your underwear."
Yeah, there's a couple of things here. Kara says, "I'm not sure someone coming into it with fresh eyes would necessarily find it as funny." And I disagree because, as Tamsin points out, there is a generation of teenagers out there watching it now for the first time and, really buying into the kind of cult following of it. Like, it is still very popular even with the new generation.
I mean,
I think they call out the shit parts a lot more than we did. Like no one was calling out Ross in the late 90s when he was,
we weren't,
because it just wasn't a thing. Like, and I think people need to accept that times were different, and that doesn't necessarily make it okay, but it's just the way it was, and deal with it. I
mean, partly in that episode where he's really shouty at Rachel, we all know he's gone too far even then, but we can't. I mean, my feeling would be like, she
but
can't.
That's part of the story is that he took it too far.
He took it too far.
It's not like everyone's going, "Yes, Ross, that was the correct response to this situation."
Exactly. It's intended to be so she can be righteously fucked off with him.
Yeah.
She can't be righteously fucked off unless he is brilliantly, terribly twatty, as it were. So, but there are great bits in it. I had a friend of mine when I worked at Breaks. called Alex. Another Alex.
Yeah, they're all pricks, aren't they?
There are totally to a man all pricks. And he fucking hated it. But he hated everything in life. He was a super curmudgeon. He's like, oh, fucking hell, shit. So he thought everything was shit, so it didn't matter what it was. But he was like, it's just a load of people sitting on a sofa, isn't it? And I'm like...
Yeah, people sitting on a sofa. Who the fuck's going to watch that?
Fucking cunts. Friends is definitely better than Frasier, which was always terrible.
Now, that is a shit take, mate. Sorry to tell you. Frasier is great.
Oh, I always feel with Dr. Fruitbat, and I can't be certain. I don't see him as many times. I only see him a few times in the year, but whenever I speak,
I
to
still
Dr.
love
Fruitbat,
you, Dr. Fruitbat, but that's a shit take.
I always get this idea that we agree on things, mainly at Simpsons, but I disagree. I mean, I don't know.
I will give you that Frasier is a lot more formulaic than Friends is, and very much the situations are very much of their own making. But yeah.
Frasier is tedious and bad, and I will never back down from this. I disagree. I disagree. It is not.
It's fine, Dr. Fruitbat. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's the second time I've said that today.
Here's the thing.
On 2 different podcasts.
There's a couple of things here. Is Friends better than Frasier? Is Frasier better than Friends?
Friends is better than Frasier. But that's not to say that Frasier is bad.
That's what I mean.
Frasier is also incredible. In the
Frasier is incredible.
It's Friends and then it's Frasier very close behind. And you know the argument there is they both went for 10 seasons, so they can't be shit.
No,
otherwise they'd have been cancelled, like Firefly,
which we'll come on to in just a moment. But I didn't want to jump. I mean,
you are a lot more offended than I am about that take, and I thought I was going to be the one.
Well, I thought you were. Yeah, I mean, I love Frasier.
I love Frasier, yeah.
And there's so many. There's bits that I quote with Captain Brilliant even now. There's a bit where like Frasier and Niles start up a practice together because they're both psychologists and they're like psychiatrists rather, and they start a practice together, and anything the brothers do together is always doomed for disaster. And I don't know why, but yeah, they keep arguing where to put this potted plant, and they're like, I'm going to put it there. And Frasier comes in and says, Niles, why did you move that? Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, I thought it'd be better here. And as it goes down and down and further and falls apart, he's like, we need to give it some light, Frasier. And he goes, well, let's give it all the light it needs. And he just like chucks it out the window. And it's quoting, not loads, but a significant amount between me and Captain Brilliant.
They do take things far too far, and that's part of the.
I mean, it's farce. It's just, every episode of Frasier is farce, and it's all kind of predicated on a lie. I mean, I watched someone do this. Like, a lie starts, they don't back down from the lie, or the lie gets away from them, and then they have to keep the lie going.
Yeah, and that formula carries through pretty much the entire series. But yeah,
it's also good to have a character like he has in his like Niles has, that never ever is seen on screen but gets referred to all the time. That's always a good joke to have. I think.
Yeah. And last thing on Frasier,
yes,
they've been threatening us with a new series of Frasier since like 2017. And we still don't have it yet. So Paramount, sort the fuck out and give us the new Frasier. I think what they're finding is they try to make it is Martin was a pretty integral character, and now that the actor for him has died, it's probably not going to work. But still, give us half Frasier without Martin. Who cares about the dog? That's long gone as well. John Mahoney, thank you very much. Welcome in, your father. You missed all the fun wrestling chat earlier. You have to go back. Get up earlier, prick. Now then, what's next?
Well, I'm jumping to the one you mentioned, Firefly. Mm-hmm. Firefly is only popular because it got cancelled.
Now, I haven't seen Firefly, but I'm willing to believe that, because any show that gets cancelled after one season cannot objectively be good.
That's true. I've seen Firefly because someone said it was good, and I really enjoyed it. But has it only drawn that level of interest because people are so righteously indignant about Firefly? Do we have any Firefly fans in the chat?
It's a Joss Whedon, isn't it?
It is Joss Whedon.
Yeah. And it came before Buffy the Vampire Slayer or after Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
After. I feel pretty confident in saying that.
So
Firefly is very enjoyable.
So it's basically, you had all the Buffy marks out there wanting more Buffy, and they were given Firefly, and it wasn't very good. But they were like, yeah, but it's Joss Whedon. So then they were like...
There is a degree of that.
Yeah.
But it's very different. It's like...
Because has Joss Whedon made anything good since Buffy?
I mean, I'm not a massive Joss Whedon mark, but he did Dollhouse.
Oh, I haven't seen that, but it's got Eliza Dushku in it, and she's cool.
Buffy wasn't good,
Well,
says James 31.
That's also a shit take.
That's a controversial opinion. Can we do this one first, and then we'll get to Buffy?
I mean, it didn't make my top 10 best TV series of all time.
Did it make mine?
But it did make yours.
Oh!
It was number 10 in your top 10.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. By the way, when we 24-hour stream,
Yes.
we are redoing the top 10
Oh, I love it.
TV shows without like referencing our previous lists and seeing afterwards how they compare.
I think I don't think anyone gives a fuck about Firefly here, but Firefly is like cowboys in space, and I think it's
Cowboys in space.
in space. It's Nathan Fillion riding around with a crew. The crew are very likable. Lots of funny comments and stuff, and sharp talking motherfuckers. It's a bit like that, yeah. It's good. It is good. I think it is still good. Are you being a cowboy in space?
Holstering my gun.
Mate, it's only like 12 episodes. You should probably just watch it.
Yeah, but where is it?
Like, where is it to watch it?
Yeah.
I think I've got it on... Captain Brilliant has it on DVD.
Oh.
It wouldn't be too difficult to get. The film wraps it up. I still think there's a lot to like in it. But I think there's a lot of people who like it more because that it was cancelled. Buffy wasn't good, says James 31. No one's going out to bat for Buffy, though, are they?
I mean, I did lose interest in Buffy as time went on. Like the whole thing with the that militia that was weird, and the new character, he was crap. Can't remember his name.
Oh,
the blonde one.
The one in the initiative.
Yeah, in the
Riley.
Yeah, he was fucking shit.
That I didn't really enjoy.
And
that
then they like turned Spike good. That was shit. So it started well, and then okay, I'll give you, it got a bit crap.
I quite liked Spike doing that, but
yeah. And it had Armin Shimmerman in it, so you know that's
true.
cool. He's awesome. Yeah.
Josh Whedon's adaptation of the Ibsen play A Doll's House. Yes. I don't know how he managed to get any comedy out of it at all, frankly.
Whedon did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, there you go. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is good.
Buffy features good-looking people and ridiculous scripts. I guess it's for children, though. See, James is trying to bait us there.
It wasn't for children. It was for teenagers, which is a very different demographic.
Yes, it was for teenagers.
Which you'd know if you've ever worked in television, but you haven't because you're too busy fucking painting your house, aren't you?
He's probably painting as we speak.
Yeah.
Charmed was way better than Buffy. I've never watched Charmed.
Charmed was awful.
Man, we're really getting into it tonight.
Charmed was bad.
Never seen Charmed.
The only good thing about Charmed was
the credits
was the fit one who then was in Pretty Little Liars as Arya's mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pretty Little Liars, low key guilty pleasure, by the way. Love Pretty Little
Oh
Liars.
yeah, I mean,
yeah. I'm pretty sure we watched Dollhouse, says Karis. Nope, you're thinking of True Calling. That's what we watched with Eliza Dushku, not Dollhouse. Holly Marie Coombs, that's her. Yeah. Not my boss sending me on a wild goose chase until 10 p.m. and then spelling my fucking name wrong. Whoop!
When she apologized. See? I've never watched Buffy, but Charmed used to be on here, and because it was in English, I watched it.
Very sorry about that, Tasman.
I think Buffy... I don't think I ever finished Buffy. I still think...
I've got Buffy on DVD if you do want to watch it.
I'd like to watch it.
Or it's on all four.
I mean, the second season of Buffy, and the early seasons of Buffy were really good, especially the second season when it's all Angel and Spike and all that sort of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it went downhill when Angel left and got his own show.
Yeah, which I also enjoyed.
I think that's when it went downhill.
So just reading my niece and nephew kind of
bantering at each other.
Don't feel the need to bring it up, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time when we're talking, these guys are telling each other to fuck off in the chat, and I'm here for it.
Calm down, Baltons. People who write with emojis are probably annoying in real life too. Opined the person that wrote it. I mean, it's not a controversial opinion. Doesn't everybody write in emojis now?
I mean, angry face with swearing over the mouth, exclamation mark, frowny face. But yeah.
Do you enjoy emojis? And what one do you like to use?
I'm not a fan of like writing with emojis, but like when we're using Discord and stuff, I will very happily respond with emojis.
Yeah.
There are some things that just need a thumbs up and nothing else.
Absolutely.
But apparently, and you may know more about this than me, people out there. Apparently, the thumbs up,
Yes,
to the modern generation has become like a condescending thing. So in responding with a thumbs up, you're actually being like condescending.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I get it, but I don't really get it.
No.
Fruit should not be cooked under any circumstance. There is no circumstance under which you should cook fruit.
See earlier, cookies.
Fruit should not be cooked under any circumstance. Is there any fruit that you would cook?
I mean, I will also direct your attention to the apple pie.
That rules out crumble, so no.
Yeah, exactly. And what about the good people of Bedford? How will they make their clangers without cooking the fruit alongside the mincemeat?
To.
And I don't mean like mincemeat like in mince pies. I mean actual mincemeat.
What about jam?
That is just cooked fruit, isn't it?
Yeah. So no jam.
That's been cooked within an inch of its life.
Yes. Like in that episode of Friends where after Monica and Richard break up, she decides to make a lot of jam. Another good episode.
With another good guest star. Many of them in Friends. Tom Selleck.
Yes. No more pizza because, people put
tomato.
Pineapple as well.
Well,
I mean,
just
tomato.
Tomato base.
Yes, tomato.
That's a fruit.
Yeah.
God, screw this person.
Fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You should go. Listen, it's very easily findable. Just type in controversial opinions on Google. Find the 121. It's probably the first thing I had to find. Didn't research very long. Find out who did it and send them a little message.
Yeah, it's Kara, so that's not controversial. Just an idiot. Well,
Yeah.
I did say some of these were not controversial opinions. They were just flat out.
Honestly,
shit
they were
takes,
just bullshit.
And that is a shit take.
Is this a Friends podcast?
No,
It
it's a
could
Star
be.
Trek podcast.
I can talk about Friends. I love Friends. Bloody love Friends. God, screw this person. How will I make the blackberry sauce for my pork roast? In your new flat when you get it. We're all going to come over.
When my daughter
Yes.
comes of a bit older,
Yes.
we should do a podcast, which is us watching Friends with her for the first time. That'll be hilarious.
Yes.
Could find another teenager child to.
I wonder if my mum's ever watched it. I could watch it with my mum.
Like multi-generation watching Friends. I mean, we'll have seen it before, obviously, but if we could find somebody of a higher generation who's never watched it,
Yes.
and then like my daughter, and then us,
Hannah and Friends. My dad was telling me. My dad was trying to get me. This is nothing to do with Friends. My dad was trying to get me to
got an itchy ear.
read
Sorry.
a religious book. So I went round to see my mum and dad the other day, and I was chatting to them last week, and we were talking about what they did and what they were doing to pass the time. I don't know how we got onto it, but just like there's real tears. Honestly, I was just thinking, and I was talking to my mum. We're talking to both of them, and we're talking about what they were doing. She was talking about reading books.
Fuck off, Dad. I'm talking to Mum.
And my mum said, "Do you know what Dad reads? He reads a lot of God books." And the very phrase,
Isn't he like a pastor or something?
he was a deacon, but
Yeah.
like he does really like
Batista. Okay.
yes, yeah, that's right. He does really like religion. He's
Did
very
he have
very
a massive
spiritual.
chain around his neck with like a collection box?
God, I've forgotten about that.
I thought that's what you had to do to be a deacon.
He doesn't do that
the rules?
anymore. Did he ever smash anyone in the face
Of
with
course he did.
I've forgotten
That was
it.
what it was actually for.
That was the entire purpose of
Yeah.
having that. Essentially, my mum was like talking about the fact that my dad reads a lot of religious books, but she didn't say religious books, and this is kind of why I find it like really kind of silly, because she was like, "Do you know he reads a lot of God books," and that just killed me. Just sent me laughing. She's like, "Why are you laughing?" And I said, "Because like it just sounds." I went on to say it just sounds kind of condescending, right? Because you're like making light of the fact he reads what probably quite weighty religious tomes. But she didn't say. She was like, "Do you know what, Alex?" She said, "He reads a lot of God books." I said, "Oh yeah, Mum." She went, "Yeah, he reads in the morning. He'll get up and he'll read a God book." And
Is it the God book?
I said, which God books are we talking about? Are we talking about... There's
Matthew,
only...
Mark, Luke, John, Genesis.
I said the Bible.
Exodus.
There are lots, basically.
Running out.
And he says he's got he reads in the morning, he gets up and he reads some God books. And then in the afternoon, he reads some God books. And in the evening, Alex...
In the morning, Alex's dad reads the book. And that's it.
And he says, and in the evening, he reads God books. And I said, I was laughing, and she went, and do you know what he reads at night? And I went, no.
Playboy.
And she went, God books. And I was just like, oh yeah.
I should have seen that coming.
I should have seen that coming. But it was the way she said it, Jeremy. It was so funny. She went, but do you know what he reads at night? And I was like, no. Like, things she was going to say, like Stephen King or something. He went, God books. I'm like, oh yeah, no, of course. Yes, of course it is. And it was so stupid. And then he was saying, well, Alex, you should really read Karen Armstrong because she is so, so good. And Mum broke in to say, well, I read a lot of books, she does. And she said, but I'd run out of books. And then your dad suggested I read some Karen Armstrong. But let me tell you something, Alex. And I'm like, say the line, Bart. She was like, I read Karen Armstrong. And do you know what? She's a very silly woman. And I'm like, of course she is! Of course she is!
You could hear the massive pop from outside the house.
Cheap pops as she comes on. She gets on the mic. She gets on the mic. Do you know what? I've known some people be silly in Folkestone, but no one's sillier than the people in Dover, am I right? Yeah! Anyway, so she was saying like, oh, she's very silly. And she just kept going, boo! Get her on the mic. But yeah, who's Karen Armstrong then?
She wrote a God book, James. Keep up.
She did. She became a nun, and then she decided she didn't want to be a nun anymore. And my mum's like, yes, see, she's very silly, became a nun, stopped being a nun. And and I don't know, but anyway, so yeah.
Which part of that did she take exception to? Was it the becoming a nun or the ceasing in being a nun?
I think I was trying to, well, she's very intense. She's very intense. She said,
well, she would be
I know about all these women are just very, very, very strange and very silly. And I was just like, oh my God. So my dad was like, I have to disagree with you. She is so, so good. So I've got my mum and my dad arguing over God books.
I'll take none of that.
How many of her books have you read? None. My dad lent me one of her books and I was reading it well back when I was in either university or at the end of my theology A-level. And it was in my bag for a long time and it got all scratched up with other stuff in my bag. When I handed it back to him, it was all scratched to fuck. And he was not happy that I had scratched up his book, as you might imagine, basically. But I was surprised to learn when I saw him the other day when he was talking about Karen Armstrong, he didn't go, and I remember you fucking scratched the shit out of my book, because that would be outrageous. But anyway, so yeah. Oh my God.
Now he just doesn't lend Alex any books.
No.
And everyone's happy because he didn't want them anyway.
I said, you should write a God book, Dad. He was like, oh, no. Anyway.
Maybe your mum should write a God book and then your dad can read it.
I had to record them. I had to sit down and record them after that. I've got a recording of them both talking about it. But as soon as I go in there, I should just hit record immediately.
You should just walk in there with like a lapel mic on and just record the whole thing. Yeah. Absolutely. We talked so long then that the mouse went to sleep. That's how long we've done that segment. Do we want to put a pin in this until next week and move straight
I don't
to
think there's anything we would necessarily need to put in the C this time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few suggestions, but we can just write them down for next
Let's
time.
roll it on and let's get to the last section.
Let's get to the meat. The meat that is contained in the nether regions.
Am I the asshole? No, it's the children who are wrong.
You know, I printed off loads of these and I still don't know which one I'm going to do, but you've got one.
I've got one because I just knew what I wanted, and it was the example that Aletha sent me this morning because it was very funny to me. So yeah, I'm ready to go when you are.
I've got loads. I could do a little one as well. I've got a big one and a tiny one, and you've got a...
You can't do a little one. That's illegal. It's very much frowned upon.
Yes, that's bad. But I could read a little...
I've got a big one.
I can see from the way you're sitting. Well, how about I don't know if you want to do 3 or we just do 2.
Let's do 3. Fuck it.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to do
I'm
a second
feeling
one?
nonchalant. I don't give a shit.
Do you want me to do 2 or do you want to do 2?
You can do 2. You found them. You
Okay.
you reap the benefits of extra reading.
Okay, I will read this one.
Good.
Um,
Glad we could sort that out.
Karen is a Confucian. Have you looked her up? Well, you should maybe listen. My dad highly recommends Karen Armstrong, so read her. By the way,
You said you'd never read a God book, so go for it. Land of Confucian.
just as I got there, I was just that should be the name of it. Oh my god, that was so. Her fingers blisteringly fast on that one.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Joke. All the way in Athens. Oh my god.
This is the world we live in.
Listen.
And these are the hands we're given. Use them to type in the chat. Before Alex says it with his mouth.
If any of you read Karen
they can't read
any Karen Armstrong book, please let me know, because if I can go round to my dad and say, you know this stupid podcast thing we do, and he's like, oh yes, and I say, well, I was telling him about Karen Armstrong and one of them went out and read it, he will lose his fucking mind. It would just be the greatest thing. Please will someone read Karen Armstrong just so I can say,
Can we not buy the Cliff Notes or something?
just lie to me. It's good enough that I've mentioned Karen Armstrong about 18 times on this fucking podcast.
Tamsin almost bought a copy in a second-hand shop, but it was really scuffed up.
Oh my god. Oh, so good. Can we just stop? Nothing's going to be as funny as this.
I don't think he's laughed this much for DGMS in a while. Fair play.
Homework. Read Karen Armstrong. Lie to Alex about what she said. Oh, God. Am I the arsehole
Yes.
for telling my friend that she can't expect us to drop everything for her? Am I the arsehole for telling my friend that she can't expect us to drop everything for her?
It seems reasonable.
I have a friend, Victoria, 30F, who I love dearly, but she has a quirk that I cannot stand.
She's a cunt.
Am I the arsehole for thinking she's a cunt? And we might know what that quirk is, given it's in the title, but Victoria is notoriously indecisive.
Notorious!
Sometimes it can be avoided, others not much.
Victoria!
The last big point of contention was 5 years ago. Well, it doesn't seem like there's much of a big deal.
Man, you hold a grudge.
More of a grudge than me. Yeah, she's fucking super indecisive. It was 5 years ago.
5 years ago,
Remember that
she
5 years?
put her drink down on my coffee table
No coaster.
without a coaster.
That's it.
The gall of this woman.
Unbelievable. Do you remember? I don't remember. Well, I only remember because you tell us every fucking month so we can't forget. The last big point of contention was 5 years ago when she got married. People took off work, booked flights, etc., all for her to change her mind just months before the wedding. Not that she wasn't going to get married, just the details of it. Both times, there was no emergency or reason to change the date. She just found a better venue, and it was still early enough to get the deposits back on the original, so she did it.
I think you might have stumbled across the reason there.
Of course, people were upset. And once again, a lot of people couldn't come to the new date.
They weren't upset. They accepted it because they're not pricks.
Right. A few of us tried to tell her to manage her expectations. Victoria just kept saying it was her special day, and she could do with it what she wanted. And what's worse is, 2 friends in our group supported this behaviour. We've had some minor issues where we'll start planning group trips, only for her to back out or want to change everything. We never lose money, but it's still annoying. And still, we resolved this by basically planning everything and telling her where to show up. Cut to the next time that's not possible. This year, Victoria, this season on Victoria. Victoria is pregnant with her first kid. She helped plan the shower and picked the venue, a friend's house, the date, etc. This time we triple checked that this is what she wanted. She said yes. The shower is supposed to be in 2 weeks. Then she changed her mind. She wanted to change the venue and the date. Once again, several people can't come, and this time I'm included. My husband and I have an anniversary trip planned. Non-refundable tickets and resort accommodations. We're also going to be somewhere else that doesn't allow technology.
Perhaps Victoria knew this and thought of a way to get you, the annoying fucking naggy prick, the fuck out of her baby shower.
I didn't think about that. You're the fucking problem. Victoria asked me to reschedule. I said, I can't, I'm sorry, but I'll send a gift. She got really upset and said she wanted me there.
She lied.
She lied. I sympathised, but said I had this trip planned for over a year. She then mentioned how many other people can't come. I pointed out, maybe it's a sign to keep the shower on the same date, the same venue, etc. Especially as our friend is still willing to host. Victoria tried to pull the same old, it's my special day, you only get one baby shower, etc. Not according to the list of controversial opinions earlier. I got fed up and told her that she is well within her rights to change the date, but that it is inconsiderate to constantly do this at the last minute. I pointed out, while she's free to do what she wants, she has to stop getting mad at others for having lives and not dropping everything for her. Victoria began to cry and hung up. Our friend group is divided. Some think I should just let her be upset. She'll get over it in time. That it wasn't the place to bring up my issue with her indecisive nature. Others have told me that I did the right thing. So, am I the arsehole?
I'm in a bit of a quandary here.
Really?
Because Victoria is a bit of a dick.
Yes.
For constantly changing up the plans, like when plans are in place.
Yes.
But I'm not sure the op could have explained all of that in a more cunty way.
Stop being friends with Victoria. You don't like her. She doesn't like you. Boom. Resolved. Sorted. I have to say, yeah, Dr. Fruitbat says, only that last one sounds particularly inconvenient. What I love about this in a way, not least the fact it said, remember that time 5 years ago? They also say, we never lose money. It's just annoying. It's like, yes, I see it's annoying, but if you said, we all booked non-refundable stuff to be with her, and then she changed it so we all lost $200 each or whatever like that, then yes, you might have an issue with it. But at the moment, it's just like, you have a dickhead friend who can't organise shit.
Yeah,
Fucking...
just stop going to the shit, and soon she'll get the message that, yeah.
Don't allow technology. Are they spending their anniversary in prison? Or in like a what's the in a vacuum, like a jar, like a kind of, I want to say there's a scientist. I mean, I know we know a lot about science, but
I think that's when a serial killer gets you and cuts off your head, mate.
Oh shit! Well, that's perhaps where they went.
Pickled heads in a jar.
Yes.
Or are you perhaps thinking of Futurama?
No, it's not the heads in jars. It's like a kind of
I am not a crook.
I can't remember what it is, but I remember. But if you're in a vacuum, none of your stuff...
I can't say I've ever been in a vacuum.
No. Well, maybe that's where they are, basically. Listen, I think...
I'm no closer to understanding what you just said. But
no.
Sure.
Well, I'm not going to dwell on it because it's just going to take ages to explain what I'm thinking.
A lava lamp.
The place, like a clean room that's got no kind of connection to it, like so you can kind of just work really scientifically in it. So there's signals from the outside world. But I'm trying to think of what. Do you know what? We need Joe in here. Joe would remember what it is, basically. But she seems like.
But how you gonna work with no air?
So, am I the arsehole for telling my friend she can't expect us to drop everything for her? Victoria does sound like a nightmare.
But also, you're a massive bell end too.
So I feel like everyone sucks here.
I agree.
No one could agree in the chat about it anyway, I think.
No.
Basically.
And so say some of us.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Well, perhaps we can be more decisive about this one.
Maybe.
This one was sent to me by Aletha. Thank you, Aletha. And as a parent, I fully expect to have perils like this in my life going forward, and I'll probably deal with it the exact same way that this person did.
Okay.
Am I the arsehole?
You are.
Am I the arsehole for removing my daughter's bedroom door because she won't stop slamming it? There you go.
Yeah, we don't have to do that one now.
You're only getting 2.
Right, well, now I can screw this. That's the other one I found.
There we go.
Sorry, yes. Oh, there's a lot of yes in the chat.
I think they're just talking about me, though.
Oh, yes. Sorry, carry on.
We're talking about this person. Not me.
How old is the daughter? We haven't got into it yet.
Well, perhaps you could shut the fuck up and I'll read it.
James taking a lot of flack. I wouldn't stand for it.
Here's your answer, James. I, 40F, have 3 kids. Maggie, 14F, Levi, 12M, and Charlie, 10M. Parentheses, caps, not their real names.
So they came up with, those were the names they... Levi? Man, they really wanted to come up with a random name.
If you're... Just a bit of advice, Reddit. If you're not going to actually use your children's real names, don't bother fucking naming them.
Yeah.
Just use the ages or call them A, B, and C. Like, Maggie, Levi, and Charlie. Is this a fucking sitcom from the 50s?
I feel, by the way, that we might be pushing James further than we've ever pushed him before.
He can take it. He's cool.
I know he can take it.
Levi and Charlie, not their real names, just in case.
Shit.
Share a bedroom, and Maggie has her own room as the oldest and the only girl. Yes, as law dictates, so they don't fuck each other. Maggie is a great... No? That's what the rule's there for.
Carry on. I haven't got anything to say.
That's the rule.
What? That they don't live in they don't have the same bedroom, so they don't...
Siblings over 9 of
Yes.
opposite sexes can't share rooms.
Is that like a law?
Yeah.
I thought you were just being like doing a bit.
No, that's a rule. So
Well, I don't think they were going to fuck each other anyway.
So that when they're all hopped up on teenage hormones, they don't want to fuck each other.
I don't think that a room is going to prevent that. If they wanted to do it, they just go out of one room and into the other.
Well, yeah, but
I
didn't make the rule,
I'm
Alex,
not.
I'm just
I didn't
telling
know
you
it
the
was
rule.
a rule.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the natural rule. Anyway,
Maggie is a great kid. She does her homework, helps with chores, without too much complaint. Does bug her little brothers too much. The issue is that she will not stop slamming her bedroom door. When she gets up to use the bathroom at night, she slams her bedroom door on the way out and back in. When she gets up in the morning or goes to bed at night, she slams it. Pretty much any time she enters or exits her room, the door gets slammed. And it's her only door. Oh, sorry. I read that wrong.
yeah.
And it's only her door. None of the other doors in the house. It shakes the walls and frequently wakes everyone else up in the house. Her brother's room shares a wall with hers, and our bedroom is directly above theirs. We've talked about it and asked her very politely to please be more mindful about it.
To stop fucking slamming the doors.
That'll be it, yeah. Because it is disturbing the rest of us, but it's in one ear and out the other. We tried being more forceful about it and saying that if she continues to slam her door, there will start to be consequences. Still, nothing changes. It all came to a head the other night when she got up to use the bathroom and all 4 of us were woken up by the slamming.
No kidding.
The slamming. I have to be up at 5 a.m. for work. Sucks to be you. And I've had enough of the broken sleep and came downstairs, knocked on her door. She opened it and said, "What?" with such attitude that it took a lot of self-control not to start yelling. I told her as calmly as I could that if she slammed the door one more time, she was going to come home and find it gone. She proceeded to yell at me to leave her alone, and then slammed it 5 times as hard as she could.
5 times. 5 times. 5 times. What in the blue hell is a slammaroonie?
Spinneroonie.
Well, they're slamming the door.
Gotcha.
Right.
Well, the next day, parentheses, Friday, because that was important information.
Yes.
She went to school, and my husband and I both had the day off. So we took the door off the frame and installed a curtain rod with a nice heavy curtain over the door instead.
Tell me they didn't just do that.
Nice. She came home and freaked the fuck out. She said that we were being emotionally abusive and taking away her right to privacy.
We said she was being a little bitch.
She sulked all weekend and won't talk to us now. Hey, hidden results.
Problem solved.
My mother says that I'm the arsehole because I overreacted. But she doesn't have to deal with the house shaking.
Was that the mum said?
Yeah, so who is this? Maggie? Yeah, Maggie's grandmother
Said, kids will slam doors. I remember you slamming a door when you were a girl.
She also said, why are you calling her Maggie? That's not her name. I want to add that we completely respect each other's privacy in our house, which is why we hung up a heavy curtain, made sure that we couldn't see through it or around it. We even put little Velcro pieces on the walls and curtains so it stays in place. She still has her physical privacy, which she is absolutely entitled to. But she can't slam a piece of fabric.
Nope.
We also have never and still don't just go into the room unannounced and still knock on the wall to ask permission to enter. We've told her we'll happily put the door back on once she agrees to the no slamming rule.
To be a normal person.
Edit to add, the curtain is an industrial type that blocks sound and light.
Wow.
That's an incredible curtain.
That doesn't seem like a real thing.
No. The curtain is only meant as a temporary measure. We covered this. The door isn't broken or malfunctioning in any way.
Right.
And
That answers your question. Sorry, you want to say that then? Because Hannah had said, if she's slamming it, it sounds like more of a problem with the door than with her.
No, well,
But
the door is not broken or malfunctioning in any way, and there is no draft causing it to swing shut.
right.
So, am I the asshole?
There's a lot of people saying thing here. I mean, Tamzanaki's like, I would not have dared. You don't cross the Mamzanaki. I don't understand why she felt at any point
To slam a fucking door?
to slam the door.
Yeah.
If I'd have slammed the door in the house, my dad would be like,
Oi!
stop slamming the door.
Mm.
And then if I dared to do it a second time, there'd be consequences. He'd be like, I've asked you, what's the problem? And I'd be like, whatever, Dad. And then slam it again. I would be slamming the door behind me and be grounded in my room and I wouldn't be leaving it.
Mm. Or you would perhaps be slammed into the door.
Yes.
Or between the door and the door frame.
And my dad would never have done that. But if that had been Captain Brilliant's dad, and Captain Brilliant had slammed the door more than once, he would have been slammed through the fucking door.
Northern punishment.
Absolutely no question. I wouldn't have had a situation where I'd ever who slams doors? It's stupidly loud. And I agree. I think it was Tamzanaki that said what you need is one of those slow closing
Yeah, put a
door
mechanism
things.
on it.
That's what you want. Because I remember one time I was in the Happy Frenchman in town. Don't look for it, it's not there anymore. And someone was having an argument. This woman was having an argument with the landlord, and he was like, do you know what? Get out of here. I don't want to see you anymore. She went, fine. Well, I won't come back again. And she went to the door, and she was like, I will never see you again. All right. And then she went to slam the door, but it was one of those ones with an arm on it. So it just slammed, and it just like stopped halfway and was really slowly getting to the door close, as it was.
I'm still angry.
Yes, she did that. She like pushed it all the way until it was right closed, and then she opened it like as a little bit just so that it wouldn't trigger it. And then she just went right donk and just like slammed it a millimeter just to make her point. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. My partner says the worst thing her sibling ever did more than once was not any particular act. It was keeping doing it after being told she didn't like it.
Which is a classic teenage move.
Mm.
Yeah. She knew what she was doing. And I don't think it was a malicious thing. I think she was just slamming the door because she's a fucking lazy teenager and was just
Like,
making sure it's shut.
she did it so many times over the course of so many days. Like,
Yeah,
they're
I'm not
waking up.
saying it's okay.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying you are, but like, I'm just so confused as to how like 30, 40, 50, 60 times this happened. And they're like, we sat her down we sat her down and we said, you can't be doing this. And she's like,
Whatever, mate.
they're like, it's in one ear and out the other. Door opens, door closes. It's just, I love how they're like, she's a good girl, does all her homework, does all her schoolwork, does all the stuff. She's really good.
She's just trying to knock our entire fucking house
It's
down
just
by slamming the
fucking-
door every day.
Yeah,
I think I would handle this in the exact same way as the op.
Yeah.
Take the door away. If
Door
you
be
can't
off.
use a door, you won't have a door.
And then later on, if you come to me, you know,
To you.
to me,
To you.
and say, listen, I've learnt my lesson. I won't ever slam the door again. I'll put the door back on again. And if she slams it, I'll take it off
It
again.
comes again and it won't go back on.
And eventually, there'll be a point where she stops like, who slams the door? You fucking idiot. What the fuck are you doing? Okay, listen. The question here is, am I the arsehole for removing the door?
Yeah. Am I the arsehole for removing my daughter's bedroom door because she won't stop slamming it?
No. You are very clearly not the arsehole.
This is a case of chat shit, door doesn't get banged.
It's an open and shut door.
That'll play well on the tickers. Well, our work here is done. I don't think it gets any better than
I
that,
don't think
really.
so. Please, let's just stop. Those were both bad.
Well, Tom, you've got to edit them, so make us funny, bitch. See you next week. Goodbye.